Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Data Sim live stream. Today, it is the 29th of March 2021, 33 minutes past 5 in the evening. It's a glorious day in the United Kingdom, albeit a little bit blustery. I've had a wonderful weekend. I've been back at work. I've been in the simulator doing some flying. Back now live streaming for the next few weeks or so. It's got to get very quiet at work. I hope you're all doing very well. Nice to be back in Microsoft Flight Simulator for our second ever adventure in the recently released Aerosoft CRJ in the 700 version. Massive thank you to Freckles Aviation, who's made a custom Alpaca Airways livery for our airline. It's looking absolutely incredible. We're going to have a closer look at that. If you'd like to download it for your CRJ as well, don't forget to use the command ! Livery, so you could grab your copy. Right, who do we have in the house today? We have oh, hold on, my Windows just frozen there. Tango Delta, he says this is an 80,000 subscriber special. We'll do something for a charity when we get to 80,000 subscribers, I'll promise you that. Someone said, talking about the event in Copenhagen as well, it's starting at around an hour 15, hour and a half or so it's going to be perfect for the timing for us. John Padfield's here, Littoral Gamers, Rory Heap, hope you're doing very well, sir. And Nathan Novak, Ollie Blocks Gamer says, morning. Well, yes, somewhere in the world it's morning for some people, but evening here in the UK at least. Stepan said, so that was you that was messaging me on Xpilot. Yes, it was Stepan. I was just making sure everything was legitimate. The reason is sometimes I have people cause issues on the client, and then someone saw that you hadn't got a flight plan filed and was just giving me a heads up there. So don't worry, no problem at all, Stepan. It was me talking to you. I was just making sure everything was legit before we streamed. Perfect. So here we are in Liverpool. The recent Microsoft Flight Simulator update has certainly brought me some performance improvements. My FPS with settings at high end. I've done this sector now a couple of times to practice, hitting around 30-35 FPS. I think in the UK I'm getting occasionally a bit of a stutter, but once we get over the North Sea, the performance is very nice. The reason I'm departing out of this airport is actually one of the updated airports with the UK world update with Microsoft Flight Simulator, so it's like a high quality airport with all the stand numbers. The Copenhagen airport is the default one, but it's fine. It should be night by the time we get here. Lovely sunset flight we'll be having. So here she is. Thank you very much again to Freckles, who's made this custom Alpaca Airways livery. Looks absolutely brilliant. We're in the CRJ 700. We got the cargo doors open. Otherwise I've done nothing except open all the doors and hatches. We're going to do a full setup today. Looking really nice. I'm using my Xbox controller to sync our way around here, but yes, we're going to have lots of nice external views as we fly over to Denmark. Looking very nice. A bit of paint missing off the nose there. I don't know if that was done on purpose. I thought it was some icing when I was testing the sector earlier, but yeah, looks absolutely wonderful, doesn't it? But nice to see a few other people here on Vatsim as well. There's no custom CSLs by default. I think there's some you can download as well. Thank you for everyone that suggested there's a replay app as well. I will perhaps look at that, but I think Microsoft Flight Simulator is taking a look at it, but unfortunately no replays in my build at the moment. But we'll have to have a word to the ground crew as well. He's part of the GPU card basically in the aircraft. But anyway, let's enter the doors here. Got a bit realistic. There we are, look. Sort of merged into the cockpit there. Right, how do I get into the view? Helps if I get into Microsoft Flight Simulator. There we are, now we're in the cockpit. Right, I'll turn the music down here during the setup here. So I'm following the official Aerosoft guidance. Might take around 35 minutes or so to set it up because I've only done a handful here, but I like to follow it because it's based off real SOPs. It gives you a little bit more detail about what you should be checking as well. So if you are in chat asking any questions, do bear with me. We'll have a bit of time in this sector, around an hour, 30 minutes to answer any queries. I'll keep looking at chat where I can as well. Outlet Blocks Gamer says, Xbox controller, come on, realistic, man. Just for the cameras, I'm still using a joystick and rudder pedals for the flight controls as well. Cool, so yeah, they've updated this one recently as well compared to the last stream. It's pretty much similar. I found with the ILS, we'll discuss it later, it's better, but I find when I configure to land, the autopilot just cannot stay on the ILS, but we'll have a play of it later. There's a few little quirks I've noticed, especially on Takeoff as well, but we'll discuss all of them when they come to it. Sweet, so first thing I'm going to do is check all the circuit breakers are in, which they are. We'll check the alternate nose wheel steering is off for the pushback later, so it is off at the moment. Next step is check all the hydraulic pumps are off before we power up the aircraft. So they are all in the off position. Landing gear lever verify down, which it is. Flight spoilers are retracted. Verify flaps and slats are up, which they are. They're in the up position there. Weather radar is off. It's not simulated, but we'll simulate it anyway by turning it on at the applicable phase of flight. But there is the weather radar system. The ADG manual release and emergency flaps are in normal, and they're all closed there as well. Let's get some power onto the aircraft. So looking here, we'll get the battery on, and we have AC power already available, so we'll connect it. There we are, so all the screens are displayed. We have AC power powering the aircraft. We could check on the electrical display. You can see there's the external AC cart powering the buses directly, I think it is. Yes, and then we have an ESS bus and a service bus too, so that's all looking good. Guru Ken says joystick, the TCA. Yes, the Airbus one. It was very kindly given to me by Thrustmaster, and I quite like it. It's my Logitech Extreme 3D Pro is always there on standby, but the actual joystick's great because it's got loads of configurable buttons. It feels really nice, so that's why I converted over to it I think about a year ago now. So really, really happy with it, if I'm honest. Liverpool's currently CAV random weather on Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yes, it is actually updated. At least the QNH seems to be correct, and it is windy, so we'll keep an eye on it. They still need to fix it. At least it seems to be working as opposed to sometimes never working at all. Right, aircraft powered by AC power, then IRS, we can move that to nav now for the alignment. A little bit up and down this checklist, but that's what it says, so we'll do it in this order here. Emergency equipment checked, gear and safety pins are on board, airplane documentation you check now. You check the hydraulic pumps, you turn them on and off to make sure they're working. We're just going to turn them on later on with the checklist there. An FMS initialization we could do now. I'm not going to completely load it up at this stage. Now, I need to look into how to get Navigraph to update it. I know Microsoft have NavBlue database, but mine seems to have expired on the 21st of March. I've checked the routing in the flight plan. It all seems to work on the test sectors, so it is a little bit of a concern. You'd always want to make sure you don't have that expired. You can dispatch with an expired database, but there are some things you have to check on charts and things like that. So we're going to go to, I believe it's index POS in it, so we'll tell the FMS where we are, which is Liverpool, Echo Golf Golf Papa, and our RRS position, just like with the 737, we'll use one of the GPS positions and we'll execute that. So once the alignment's complete, it's still aligning RS because it says do not taxi aligning. That should take, I think I've got it on quick align in the settings, so it's probably going to take a lot quicker than it would do in real life, but it does look good. It does work when it is aligned a little bit quicker than it would. Yeah, so let me start again. The alignment should take 6 to 8 minutes. It's going to take around 2 or 3 minutes with the settings I have in the Aerosoft. I got it out eventually. Right, cabin inspection we'd now be doing. It says emergency exit lights, verify armed. So again, I'm really still getting used to the controls for the Aerosoft and Microsoft Flight Simulator to pan around the camera. So emergency exit lights, they are armed. Most smoking and seatbelt signs to auto. And auto, emergency exit lights, it says turn off again, but I'll leave them armed for the flight. Internal inspection checks done. Seat and harnesses done as well. Electrical panel check now as well. Jesper Nielsen has just joined as a member. Welcome aboard, buddy. Glad you joined the content. You'll get invited to our members-only Discord. I don't know why that's not come up on chat, whether it's a renewal or I don't know. But thank you very much for your membership, regardless of your current status. If you're new or been here a while, thank you very much. So yeah, on the electrical power panel, it now says check. So we have the APU to start up later. We've already checked the ECAM display to make sure that's all working correctly, but it does make sure you verify the battery master's on, all generator switches are in auto, which they are, and the IDG disconnect batteries are closed, so we're not going to accidentally turn them on or disconnect the IDGs there. External power lighting, verify nav, and the rest of the lights want to be off at this stage. Fuel panel check, so we're going to turn on the main tank pumps and ensure that all fuel pumps are on and then switched off just to make sure they're working correctly. And then when we start the engines, we turn the boost pumps on. But at the moment, it says check off, then it says check on, then off. So that's done. Bleed air panel. So wing anti-ice cross bleed switch is here. Make sure that's in normal. Bleed valves are in auto. Bleed source both engines. Open the isolation valve for the engine starts. It says now start the APU as part of the process on this checklist. So we'll do that now. Get some nice conditioned air to the cabin. So we'll put that power panel on. And on one of these displays, I think it's ECS, you should see... which one is it? One of them that shows the position of the APU door. Let's step through them. I can't remember which one it was. Can't see it come up yet. I thought it was on the bottom. Maybe it's on one of these pages here, but I think it should be available. Let's press start, stop, and it says start. Let's listen outside. If it starts whirring away, that's a good sign. It's on the stat page. Thanks, guys. So you'll see there's a, flying the 737 day in, day out. Well, not that often at the moment. It's getting familiarity
50,
with certain aircraft.
40,
It can take some time.
30,
Let's check the stat
20,
page. There we are. Thank
10.
you very much, guys. So AP door open. You see the EGT and RPM increasing. Thanks a lot, Gabble, for the £2 donation. Have a safe flight. We'll join later if I can. You're at work at the moment. Oh, sorry to hear that, Gabbo. Well, thank you very much for your donation. Very, very kind. And I hope you're keeping well and safe at the moment. Anthony Murphy says, hey, boss. Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well, Anthony. Welcome on board. Felis says, making engine sounds in the F-mod so far, so good. Hope to finish it soon. Felis, oh, my goodness me. I need to get back to you because I've been so busy at the moment. But it's so exciting to see how your 200's been progressing. Really, really nice. Hope you're doing well, buddy, as well. A345 says, where are we flying today in Da World? Yes, the database is the database of the world. Brilliant. Right, APU started, 100% EGT is connected. We can check the electrical page to see if it's connected. Yes, I believe that blue means it's connected. Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's disconnect the GPU. Oh no, I think you just have to deselect it here in the menu. So aircraft. There we are. Look, it hasn't powered down. And the Glenn is driving the GPU cart away. Very, very good. So we're now on the APU, which is excellent. Hydraulic panel now. It says turn all the switches on auto and on. So auto, on, auto. ELT switch armor reset, which it is. Cabin pressurization panel. ICAS ECS synoptic page check. Well, imagine that's done. Manual alternate switch center position. Which is here. Yes, it's in the manual. It's in the hold position. Emergency depressurization switch is off and guarded. Pressurization control switch is off. And manual rate switch is fully decreased. It's fully decreased, which I think that's doing in the case of having to depressurize the airplane. Air conditioning panel then we will now check. So pack switches are in auto. Recircs we can turn on. And we can leave these switches here. That's to control the temperature. And they want to be in auto. Ram air switch off and guarded. Wing and cowl anti-ice switches are off. We'll probably need anti-ice on departure today. Windshield heat on low. And we are. We'll put the probes on after engine start, like we do in the 737. Otherwise, that is all checked. Moving on to the kind of center panel now here. So we'll set the MCP up shortly, but we just need to do a stall warning test. So we'll push that down, we'll have stall flashing light, stick pushers going forward, and the stick shakers going off as well, so we can guard that as well. Nose wheel steering verify off again, there it is. Clocks are set, so our live time 16:47 Zulu. Don't forget the clocks have changed. So in the UK, guys, we're on British summertime, it's 17:47, but the clocks stay on Zulu, no matter where you are in the world there, so all looking good. Dune said, would you switch from X-Plane 11 over to Microsoft Flight Simulator permanently? No. To me, still, X-Plane 11 is the better sim, and that's just not that's a complete personal preference. I think Microsoft Flight Simulator is still developing into a good simulator, but I'll point out some things on this flight today which, I don't know, just feel a little off, whether it's the CRJ or perhaps Microsoft Flight Simulator, I don't know, but you'll see it here. I do like it. I love how it looks. Performance, I think, is getting better. I'm glad that the latest updates fixed some of the issues. There's someone just taking off on Vatsim. Very, very nice. For example, that looks fantastic. But yeah, visually great. Just needs a little bit more tweaking, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Excellent. What plane is this? EME. It's the CRJ 700 by Aerosoft. Right, clocks are set. EFIS control panel says select a map. Well, that's a nice little feature in the add-on. I like that. So it says here leave it on map at this stage, but we'll leave it well, plan, because I want to be checking the routing. QNH, let's see if we can grab the ATIS on Vatsim here. We do have an ATIS, 124325. Now, the radio tuning panel is a bit of a pain because it does it by one digit at a time. So you can see I'm changing it here. 124325. Takes absolutely ages. We'll see if it's working on voice at least. There we are.
Echo.
It's working.
And advise aircraft type on first contact.
I think it sounds nicer, V-Pilot than X-Pilot as well. I think the ATC sounds much better.
Liverpool information Echo.
Let's have a listen then.
Time 1620 Zulu. Runway in use 27. Transition level flight level 60. Surface wind 220 degrees 18 knots. Cav temperature +16. Dew point +10. QNH 1023. Threshold QSE 1020. Acknowledge receipt of information Echo.
Excellent.
And advise aircraft type on first contact.
So have information Echo all copied, and what I'm going to do here is a nice little... Alright, let me work out how to get back into the cockpit. I'm just going to push B to set it automatically. The reason is just make sure the live weather is working correctly. So there we are, 1023, it is working. It says Cav OK, and it should be Cav OK, but I think Microsoft Flight Simulator has decided, well, actually guys, we'll give Microsoft Flight Simulator the benefit of the doubt, because remember, Cav OK is when the clouds are clear skies and visibility over 10,000 meters, and clouds above, all clear below 5,000 feet. So these might be above 5,000 feet. So technically, it could be Cav OK. So we'll have a look later on when we get up there, but it could be potentially wrong. We've had issues with Microsoft Flight Simulators with it in the past. Right, weather's all set. Got the ATIS, instrument panels all set as well, and anti-skid test. Don't worry about that one. We'll check them. Then we check the main landing gear bay overheat test. So essentially, you're pushing these buttons, making sure they all sound correctly. Upper pedestal. Check all the positions. Engine sync switches are N1 or N2, which they are. Ground proximity switches are checked. We'll imagine that's done as well, just to keep the ball rolling. Thrust lever quadrants checked. So remember, again, as I pointed out last stream, I don't like these thrust levers, but they have a little lock here, and the engines are in the shut-off position. You can't move them until you start the engines. So that's all done. Avionics radio tuning panel, so TCAS system. So on Vatsim today, I'm still learning how to set the codes and transponders and things like that, but I'm going to put this on to 1 now, which makes it active, and well, then when we get the squawk, we'll set it there as well. It does seem to be working manually. RTO and FMS tune inhibit switches are done. We'll put that switch to standby, and working my way down here just before I forget, we'll put the stab trim channel 1, channel 2, Mac trim. And the lighting, we'll have to turn that up later because it will be night by the time we get to Copenhagen. Otherwise, I think we've done everything there. Yaw damper I've engaged. And we check the lower pedestal. And we're all good now. All we've got to do, guys, is load up the flight management computer and Pushback. We're all pretty much ready to go do our briefings as well. So we should be okay to leave at around 30 minutes after we started the stream here. Right, let's just grab the clearance now. I spoke to the ground controller here before. I've actually had to file a slightly non-standard flight plan today. The reason is let me bring up Navigraph here for you guys. This is the flight plan we're flying. It's a Pole Hill 4 Tango. Now, the preferred routing is a Barton SID, which is a little bit tighter. I tried flying it in the Aerosoft, but it just can't manage it. There's a SID here, the Barton SID. It's exactly the same, except it's a little bit tighter. Barton's around here. And I tried it on 2 test sectors. It just, nav can't manage it, and it starts throwing wobblies, and it starts turning left and doing circles. So I tried a Pole 4 Tango, worked much better in nav, except our routing's going to be a little bit more different. A little bit more direct would take us like this. It's around an extra 30 track miles going this way, a little bit further north, about an extra 2 minutes flight time, so it's not a big deal. But it just makes it a little bit easier because for some reason it can't fly the Barton SID accurately. So yeah, that's the reason we've selected that one. I'll grab the clearance now, just making sure you can hear us okay. And get ground tuned now. It's taking ages on the old radio tuning panel. Wish you could change it at 0.5 hertz at a time. There we are, ground's now active.
Runway 27, fire whiskey.
Yeah, I think the audio in V-Pilot sounds
Alpha 1 via Whiskey Uniform Alpha.
Much clearer. Much clearer. Liverpool ground, hello, it's Packer 9 Charlie Romeo on stand 33 CRJ 700. Information Echo QH 1023, departure clearance to Copenhagen, please.
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, Liverpool ground, hello. Information Echo is correct. You cleared to Copenhagen on the Pole Hill 4 Tango departure. Squawk 1071.
Cleared to Copenhagen on the Pole 4 Tango departure, squawk 1071. Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo.
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, read back, correct.
Thank you, and thanks for accommodating that, Sid. Appreciate it.
No worries.
Perfect. Yeah, the guy messaged me earlier, just saying, "Oh, just check your routing," because we usually do Barton, and he's quite right, I think, because that's what I was given to me. But I was like, oh, you know, if I could do the pole one, it's going to be much easier. And I flew out of Liverpool years ago, and I swear I did a pole departure then. So anyway, it's all good. He's given us the one we want, and now we can load up the FMS out before I set the squawk as well, which is 1071. I think what I need to do. There we are. It's a bit fiddly, but you can do it. 1071. Perfect. And hopefully he can see that there. And it's probably meant to be off at this stage, but we'll leave it there. And I'm sure he'll say something if it's not working correctly. Cool. Right, let's get the FMS loaded. Thank you all very much for your patience as well, because I know some of you just want to see me fly the aeroplane, but I tried to follow the checklist, show you what the aircraft's all about, give you my kind of input and thoughts on it. Philippe says there's an FMS radio page. That would have been much easier to have inserted. Thank you. There's been fiddling away with the radio tuning panel down there. We could have used this one. Very, very cool. Well, whilst we're here, I'm going to actually select manual for the SID, and then we're going to select 11175 for the ILS. That's the DME for the first turn, and then I actually want Pole Hill on standby 112.1. And remind me in flight when we're airborne to select auto again, but that will be the ones we want for our SID today. So let's go to index, pause in it. We've put the information in here. Always go there because it's in order then sequentially with what you need to do next on the bottom here. So the next thing is the flight plan. Now here's one I made earlier. I should be able to bring it up for you. There you are. Excellent. You should be able to see the flight plan. Miss old Avi tab, but this one works no problem at all. So Echo Golf Papa to Copenhagen, Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel. Our alternate today is Malmö over in Sweden, but just across the border, very, very close to Copenhagen. Echo Sierra Mike Sierra. We only need a ton of fuel to get there. And we're going to go to execute departures, runway 27, Pole 4 Tango, execute. Now sometimes, I don't know if it's the fact I'm doing it wrong, but sometimes I think I execute it too many times. And I'm getting the arrival, every time I've set it up, you'll see in a second that the arrival seems to repeat itself. I don't know if that's a bug or the fact I'm inputting it wrong in the FMS. I just input it based off my knowledge flying the 7.3. But yeah, we'll see what happens now. Anyway, we're going to go Pole Papa 17 to our Boxer. From our Boxer, Upper Papa 17 to Digby. My friends from school used to have a dog called Digby. Fun fact of the day. From Digby, Papa 15 to Kutel. Luigi Perez, thank you very much for your membership. Welcome aboard, buddy. Glad you enjoying the content. You get invited to our members-only Discord. Enjoy using custom emojis in chat. And thank you very much for the continued support. No, Navigraph, I don't want to update Simlic just now. Thank you. Yeah, cheers, Luigi. Thank you. Lima 983 to... where am I looking here? Petal. And from Petal direct to Tesby. Cool. So that's in departures, arrivals, and we're going to be expecting ILS 22 left. It's definitely going to be the southwesterly runways. We're going to expect vectors after the... Oh no, we're going to do the Tesby 1 November transition, but I do expect vectors, but we'll select Tesby 1 November. The reason is, as a full procedural arrival, heading off towards Copenhagen. Now, let me execute that. And go over here to plan. I think that's the plan page. There we are. Not allowed. Outrageous. Well, I think that's the plan page. How do I go to plan and then step for it? Ah, there we are. That's the one I want. Oh, it isn't like that though. I think it doesn't matter what page you're on the legs page. Well, let's quickly go through all of this, make sure there's no discontinuities. Oh, what was that? That's looking a bit unusual. Tespy blank Tespy. Okay. Right, let's just check the legs page here, making sure there's nothing funky here. Something smells a bit funky. Ah, look, 2 Tespys. So what we'll do is Tespy, then Robsy, execute. Let's check that now. Looking good. No discontinuity, straight in. Ooh, there is another one by the looks of it, probably for the missed approach. Ah, this is what it did earlier. It just repeats itself. India Foxtrot 22 Lima vectors. So all I'm doing is, instead of that, is putting that there, executing. Just check one more time. Still not saying not allowed. What? 737 skipper not allowed to fly the CRJ. Right, check one more time. As long as it all joins up, I'm happy. I'm gonna expect vectors anyway, so
50,
something still
40,
missed down there.
30,
Thank you very much.
10.
That was so quick.
So flattered you still remember me. Woof.
Oh, sorry. I've just realised that I still had the flight plan up, so you can't even see the flight plan. Digby the dog, thank you very much for £5 donation. That was within, what, 3 minutes of saying Digby the dog. Amazing. And spelt correctly as well. Thank you very much, Digby. I hope you're doing well. You're probably the best part of 25 years old. Thank you so much. Sorry, guys. Professional streamer didn't realise he had the flight plan there, so you couldn't see anything I was doing. So just stepping through it again. Okay, runway 27. I think, yeah, we just done a full circle. Doesn't seem to have the missed approach coded in. Oh well, we'll have to do that in heading select. Okay. Right, that's all looking good. Should use the MFD advanced page to step through the waypoints. Thanks a lot, 94 Tails. Well, we should be able to at least get in. If not, we'll have a little tidy up en route. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, MFD data. There we are. I remember seeing that on the test sector. How do you go from different pages on this one, though? That's my next question. Yeah, we'll have a look there. I'm pretty happy. I've got it all set up. We'll have a look at the missed approach. It's pretty much straight ahead there anyway, if any problems. Cool. So the FMS is loaded. Let's get rid of the data display. Now we need to do the performance. So again, let's go over here. Performance. So what I've done today, we've got 50 passengers on our 70 passenger aircraft. I put 500 kilos of bags in the rear cargo hold just to get the CG within the limits. And the flight plan, here it is here, before I forget, and then I'll try and remember to get rid of it as well. This thing's burning 1,500 kilos an hour. We need 3.4 tons. I'm just going to whack on an hour, guys. Well, imagine we're tankering. An hour's worth of fuel is 1,500 kilos. So that's going to be 4.9. Let's call it 5 tons of fuel. And you can see, like, I've got 5,073 all set there. So I'll set the payload in the simulator. There we are. It all seems to have moved around. Copy it to the FMS. So if we now go to the performance page, which, if I go here, flight plan perf in it, you can see, look, there's our weights, our passenger amount, cargo, fuel, cruise altitude, which is 37,000 feet, and executed. VNAV setup, we don't have VNAV, but we have VNAV guidance to sort of follow, so 290 knots in the climb, 250 below 100. Transition altitude here in Liverpool is 5,000 feet, so I'm just going to put 5,000 feet here. And execute. Otherwise, I think we're all good. No one in chat seems to be screaming, you've forgotten to do this, you've forgotten to do that. But I've probably forgotten most of it. But I'm pretty happy we've got everything we need to at least get away here safely. Looks like the TCAS is working with traffic on Vatsim, which is pretty cool. And is this a thing with the CRJ I've noticed? This is our SID, but then when it's a vector, there seems to be no actual line between the two. It does work in this SID, so I guess that's what's going on. Adam Marcus 20, what in-game there is there is me who bought Premium Deluxe just to get small dog planes. Then I hear mods from in-game. Yes, welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. You'll be getting some commercial jets there, but they are very basic. You do need to be willing, if you want a very realistic aircraft, to perhaps get a hold of a free one. There's some excellent free ones available, or have a look there, or you can even buy a payware one like this if you want to have one that's like the real aircraft there. Perfect. So I think we're all good. The only thing I want to do is brief, guys. So I'm just going to set runway heading to the runway QDM here on the ND. So the runway QDM for runway 27 is 267. Which I'm setting up now. 267. The SID stop altitude for the pole departure is 4,000 feet. So I need to set 4,000 feet here on the MCP. You need to be squinting to see the altitude, but there it is, 4,000 feet. And let's have a little look here at our briefing, and then we'll get on our way. So, no, that's the charts. You want Navigraph. So we're on stand 33 here, guys. We're going to push back here, straight push, most likely to go out via uniform facing east, onto the Alpha taxiway, and then we can taxi to Alpha 1 for runway 27. There's no LVPs enforced. Departure then for the pole 4 Tango, climb straight ahead 1.5 DME off India Lima Quebec. So if we zoom in here, you can see that's why I tuned it, India Lima Quebec 15. Once that's at 1.5, we're going to make a right turn, 019 to intercept the 240 radial inbound to Pole Hill, climbing to 4,000 feet. So if we quickly go here to the legs page, you can see 1.5, 018 heading, Pole Hill inbound, and we've got the distances 32 miles, 4,000 feet, Pole 26 is also 4,000 feet, and then if we go to the next page, it should be Pole, there we are, also at 4,000 feet. So, we're all good. I'm moving! Ah! Oh no! No, what are you doing? Oh no! Oh, blast.
Charlie Romeo, if you could just make sure the brakes are set there. Looks like you've had a crash to a company behind.
Yeah, sorry about that. The pushback started on its own. It's Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'll be ready very shortly. Sorry to the colleague there. Oh my goodness me! How did it do that? How did it start pushing back on its own? Oh my goodness me! Now I think the parking brake was is still set. It's just it started pushing back on its own. Oh, of course, carnage in Liverpool. Right, we best.
And Alpaca 32 is nice walk on 7536.
Best get on the way and get out of here, guys.
0,
Right, removed, closed. Chocks removed. Close.
Captain, the cabin is secure. All passengers are aboard.
Yeah, I think they'd be a little bit more concerned with the fact we pushed back on its own. Edrington, are you a real pilot? No. Oh dear. Right, I think we've done everything. FMS loaded. Flight plans in. Legs page. We've done the performance. Yeah, that was the only thing. Set the V speeds. Performance. Flap 8 dry, and then settle. We have all the V speeds set, and also V2 plus 10 knots. It seems to bug here automatically for us. Right, so takeoff data's done. Doors, just verify they're all closed. I know I'm currently blocking a taxiway. Doors, they're all green. That's good, and we'll crest edge start here now. Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, stand 33.5. Request push to start.
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, Roger. Stand 33, push to start is approved face east. Secure H1023.
Push start approved face east, QNH 1023, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. There we are, so all looking good, 1023. So I'm going to press Shift P again now. I must have done it accidentally at some point, but here comes the tug again. We'll now just do our checks below the line, so all we need to do is turn the beacon on. Transponder's already in the on position, or the equivalent of out off, so I can see it's mode Charlie on Vatsim there, and all we've got to do is start the engines and put the fuel pumps on boost as well. There we are. I think we've done everything here. Right, tug's connected. I'm just going to do a straight pushback because every time I try and do it in Microsoft Flight Simulator, it always faces a funny position. And then what I'm going to do now is get the engine started ASAP. I think we're good. We can release the parking brake. And starting out engine number N2. You can hear the packs being disconnected, and there's N2 rotation. Looking good. This will be the shortest pushback ever. Now I'm blocking someone as well. But I was blocking someone anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. Right, let's just press Shift P. I think that will do there. Just dumped me. Right, missed better pushback, I tell you what. Right, parking brake set. And waiting for 20% N2, which we have. Already at max
And
motoring.
Alpaca 178, contact Liverpool radar now. Frequency 119.850. Bye bye.
119.85, Alpaca 178.
So
Bye
that's a
bye.
good sign. Fuel flow's increasing, N2, as the turbine temperature as well. Someone robbed the bricks, absolutely. The Liverpool tug drivers, special ones. Yes, just left behind. Right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Just
please
yield up
pay
to the
attention as we display the safety features.
That's a good
of the
sign.
seats of
So
the aircraft.
looks like it's all stabilised. Starting now, engine number 1.
During an emergency, please remain in your seats with your seatbelts fastened and your seats in the upright position.
Liverpool going Alpaca 320, late taxi, please.
Uh-oh, I'm in his way.
Alpaca 320, if you could just pull forward, solid point whiskey 3 via whiskey.
Right, unless he's got any A's and go out via whiskey.
Alpaca whiskey, please, whiskey, Alpaca 320.
So N2, N1, and there's oil pressure down there. I should think that's going to be a little bit higher, but we'll turn on the engine anyway. There we are.
We would also like to remind you that you should turn off all electronic devices.
Now, is that plan mode? Or I can't... I think that's the normal range, or I just want the normal navigation mode. I think that's the one, isn't it? Ether circle. I think that's the one we want. Looking good. Poggerfish, how do you get the different ATC and can you interact with it, or is it just audio? We're on Vatsim, so there's a real people you can hear there. Yaw damper. I thought I turned that on. Now, wasn't there a massive yaw damper button? There we are. Excellent. There's no messages on the ECAM. Looks like we've got 2 good engine starts here. So, bleed valves and packs verify auto and on. They are auto and on. Anti-ice as required, it's not. Probe heats can come on, which is here. And electrics check, rudder check, nose wheel steering armed, otherwise we won't be going anywhere. And APU we initially turn off here, and then later on, when it's shut down, we turn it fully off there to close the APU doors. Taxi check, flaps will have 8 today. Flight controls will now check, so we'll bring up the flight control ECAM display, which is
50,
here.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much, Noah, for your donation there. So I'll just do the flight control check.
Hey Cap, next time you do a giveaway I'll donate $30,000. That way after Google takes their cut you can have 3 planes to give out, slightly smiling face.
Unbelievable, Noah. Thank you very much for your donation. Hilarious. Very, very funny. Making reference, of course, to last stream where 5 people very generously donated to give away an aircraft. Again, thank you very much, guys. And before you start going crazy again, if you do wish to do that, please let me know before stream. And don't donate via Super Chat. As you well know, many of you do take a 30% cut for any donation via Super Chat membership. All that takes a cut there. So very funny, though. Thank you very much for your donation. Very kind. Right, I think we're all good to go. I'm just going to turn the alerts off. No, I've done that already. And we're all ready to go. Requesting taxi now. Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo request taxi. On the reverses. So
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo taxi. Holding point Alpha 1 runway 27 via Whiskey Uniform and Alpha.
Taxi holding point runway 27 holding Alpha 1 via Whiskey Uniform Alpha Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. So let's get the taxi charts up for you as well so you can see what's going on. So we're here, it's just a straight push, so we're going to make a left turn out via Uniform. We're already on Whiskey. There's Uniform onto
Alpaca 40 requesting fire clearance.
Looking good. So, ooh, that's
Alpaca 1 Tango Oscar.
cool. So taxi lights can come on. Sorry about these views, ladies and gentlemen. Right, parking brake released, and we're on our way. So one of the things I've noticed from Microsoft Flight Simulator,
following company traffic,
as soon as you turn the tiller full left,
Whiskey Uniform and Alpha.
it just loses all grip. You just lose, and I've got a lot of thrust on here. So I've got the tiller full left, and I've got 38%, and it's ground to a halt. So, I mean, on the 7.3, you don't want much more above 40. So there's 43, and it's just if I straighten the nose wheel, there you are. It starts going, but as soon as I turn, it almost stops again. So I mean, if you go full left or right on the tiller on the 7.3, which is obviously a little bit heavier, there is a little bit of a a little bit more less grip. Sorry, more grip from the tyres, the kind of resistance to the main gear turning. Or not, or scraping, but it's not as pronounced as that. So I find that when I taxi, you lose all your inertia and keep stopping. It's a bit of a pain. You need to turn on the taxi light. I thought I just turned on the nose light. Nose light, that's correct though, isn't it? Is there a taxi light? I'm just following the guidance there. You turned a landing light on. The taxi lights are on the right. Landing light nose. I just put the landing light on and the taxi lights. Well, I meant to put that one on as well, I think, but I thought they were like some sort of recognition lights. I'm only following the tutorial, but I like the assistance guys. There we are. So you can see, look, it's just I've got something like 43%, and it's just we'd be zooming along, I should think, in real life. It's so an issue with the grip, I think. Anyway, we're on the parallel taxi right now.
Please stand by for the stand number.
So we're going to do our before takeoff checklist now. So flight controls we check, trims green. I know what I forgot to do. So go to the performance page here, check the trim for departure. So we need 6.8 units. So there is the indication for the trim, 6. So set 6.8. And what I've found is, even though you set the performance up here perfectly in the aircraft, as per the performance table, I found the nose of the aircraft starts shooting up on its own around 10 knots below V1, so I was actually having to hold the nose down. Now that, again, wouldn't happen. But we'll see what happens today. I've already taken off at this gross weight and tested this sector a couple of times. I had that issue before. So that's
Alpha 400, we are at
done. Thrust reversers are armed. They are. And flight instruments are checked, we've done everything with that. FMS is set as well. Brake temperature's checked, first flight of the day. And before takeoff checklist is coming up
and
next.
Alpha 9 and Charlie Romeo, thanks for bringing the crew into Liverpool. To be able to London, no, it's nice to be able to Liverpool radar now, frequency 119.850, second, bye-bye.
No problem at all, thanks to the ACC, and 119.850, Alpaca 9 at Charlie Romeo. See you soon.
Bye.
Perfect, so over to radar.
A 2-minute wait.
And yeah, so I'm going to do my kind of own operator's SOPs now, just to make sure I'm happy how the aircraft's configured, and it covers everything myself to making sure I'm fully ready for this departure. So, config, is there a config warning here? There's full power, no, it just goes to toga, and I hope oh no, why have I done that? That's probably activated toga and takeoff and all sorts here. I'm just going to turn the flight directors off, and hopefully we'll have no issues there. So config we've checked, flaps we have, 8, and 8, and it's all green, no other colour except green, which is good. Stab trim 6.8 units set.
Alpha 320 via Alpha 1, runway 27 line
so takeoff briefing, air conditioning panel is all set. Bleeds are on, the V-speeds are set. We have 130, 130, V2's 140, and we've bugged 150, which is what you do in the CRJ apparently. Departure is going to be the Pole Hill.
That we are now cleared for takeoff.
Oh, have I? We're going to be flying the Pole 4 Tango straight at 1.5 India Lima Quebec, right turn 019, intercept the 240 radial, inbound to Pole Hill, stop altitude's 4,000 feet, and we'll bug up at around 1,000 feet or so. So we are, checks complete. At least the chronometer's working now. Yes, so it does work automatically. What I forgot to do last stream was engage the toga mode, which I think upsets the whole thing. If you don't push that, I never have the top of descent, I don't have the timer start, but I hope...
Alpaca 320, runway 27 clear takeoff, surface wind 210
I hope me not
degrees,
just spamming the thrust there.
Clear for takeoff,
It's going to cause, I hope it isn't going to cause any issues. Right, anyway, we are all ready to go, so just before I check in and call ready for departure, I'm just going to get the aircraft configured as if we actually been cleared to take off. So, lights are on. Strobes can come on as well. Ignition anti-ice as required. We don't need it at the moment. Flight attendants advised. Transponder TCAS is on. It is, and I think it's an auto, so it should go to TA or RA once we're airborne. Weather radar, not simulated, but we'll put it to weather anyway. We'll put the tilt up shortly. Check the CAS. So push CAS. I've got no ICAS warning messages or anything on the ECAM here. And I think we're all ready to go. And before I forget, guys, flight director and... is it this button here? There we are, takeoff mode. We're all ready to go. Alpaca 9, Charlie Romeo. Good evening. Alpha 1, runway 27, ready for departure.
Alpaca 9, Charlie Romeo, Liverpool radar. Hello, bit short delay.
Roger. All good, guys.
Alpaca 320, squawk 7536.
So takeoff here is quite dynamic. I'm going to rotate at V2 plus... sorry, I'm going to rotate at VR. I found that the nose wants to shoot up on its own anyway. I might have to hold it down. It has done in the last few test sectors.
And Alpaca 320, thanks. Contact under control now, 133.7.
Put that standby.
133.7, Alpaca 320, thanks. Bye-bye.
33 seconds.
See ya.
Yeah, we'll rotate at VR, climb at V2 plus 10, 400 feet. I'm just going to verify a roll mode, so I might... Oh no, select speed, mate. I'm going to select speed, so the aircraft will pitch to whatever speed we're flying at the time.
Alpaca 9, Charlie Romeo, by Alpha 1, runway 27, line up and wait.
Via Alpha 1, line up and wait, 27, Alpaca 9, Charlie Romeo. Because let's select speed around 400
How
feet,
break?
and then nav mode, and then we'll engage the autopilot around 1,000 feet. And it should... One test sector was abysmal, one it worked perfectly, so hopefully somewhere in between. Right, all ready, good to go anyway. Anyway, sim's looking lovely. I do love it, and it's going to have a lovely. We're going to have a lovely sunset, and it'll be night by the time we get to Copenhagen on this lovely short flight, an hour and 30 minutes or so. Hope the sounds are all good for you guys. Anyway, it's not too loud, not too quiet. Oh come on, that's full right on the tiller. Oh come on now, it should be turning. It's just ground to a halt again. Got a nice crosswind from the left as well. Oh, come on. 54%. That would...
Alpaca 9, Charlie Romeo, will be a 2-minute delay.
Alpaca 9, Charlie Romeo. It's going to take me that long to line up anyway. Yeah, they need it. Needs a bit of work. That does. Right. And that, I understand someone said it's Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that happens in the Airbus as well. Okay, I think we're all ready to go. So, I believe I'll have the elapsed timer up in case, but I think when I set takeoff thrust, it does it for me. It has done on the other ones. We'll see what happens.
Alpaca 1 Tango Oscar holding Alpha 1.
Alpaca 1 Tango Oscar, Liverpool radar, thanks.
So, there we are, look. All ready to go. I don't think I've forgotten anything too important. We'll soon find out. All looking good here. Look at that lovely sun. Try increasing the left throttle only. I don't think that'll make any difference, Guru. Yes, increasing thrust on the outboard engine would help, but I think it's a real issue. I mean, in the real aircraft, when you're making full lock turns, you actually do want, you're quite right, turn thrust, idle thrust on the inboard engine and only have thrust on the outboard there. But that's not what the issue is with this simulator. Oh gosh, yeah, you're right. Fuel cross flow to manual. You're right.
Alpaca 9, Charlie Romeo, runway 27, clear takeoff. Surface wind 210 degrees, 16 knots.
Runway 27, cleared takeoff. Alpaca 9, Charlie Romeo. Yes, you do need that for takeoff. I do remember. Right, I think we're ready to go to get those tokens in chats. We'll now head on our way to Copenhagen.
Alpaca 1 Tango Oscar via Alpha 1.
Try and get
line
a nice
up and wait
view
behind
for you
the
guys.
departing company aircraft.
So 40%. Looking stabilised.
Line up and wait behind the company.
Toga, set takeoff thrust.
1 Tango Oscar.
On our way. So, yeah, the rudder again is very stiff. It's either left, right. The movement's a bit funny. Right, so crosswind's coming from the left, so feeding in that right rudder as we head on down the runway. Hopefully that nose. Whoa, need a little bit more. That's full rudder there. My goodness me. That's the nose coming up on its own. That's not me. So rotate. It just snapped up. Airborne. Oh, it's really dragging itself into the air, and we're airborne now. Pos radar climb gears up and neutralise the rudder. looking good. So we're going to select speed mode. Aircraft's going to pitch to maintain that speed now. So I'm just going to...
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, thanks very much. Contact London now, 133.7. Enjoy your flight, bye-bye.
133.7, thanks a lot for the ATC. Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, see you soon, bye. Perfect, so we're climbing straight ahead. We're just going to wait for 1.5 DME here. So I press speed 186 knots, but I'm following the flight directors exactly. Why is it pitching for 210? The flight directors, so I'm going to select flaps up.
Full radar, hello, Golf Romeo.
And we should be turning now. Yes, it's commanded the turn on the flight directors. Now I'm having to take thrust off because we've got out cap. That's probably why the speed started running away, because it's no longer pitching at the speed. So I've just brought the speed back to 220 knots for this initial turn, levelling off at 4,000 feet. It's just staring at the PFD. Such a busy one. So yeah, I think probably it started accelerating because it went to out cap, which is like out acquire into 7.3, so obviously I kept the thrust at takeoff thrust. So I'm just using manual thrust here just to maintain 220 knots, level off at 4,000 feet. Trimming nose down actually.
Golf Romeo Oscar Lima Yankee, Roger, clear to enter Liverpool control zone. Correction, clear to transit Liverpool control zone via T4 and M56 selection 11. Liverpool QNH 1023, report overhead at C4.
Okay, come on, I'm overpowering the autopilot now just to make sure. That was my fault though, it was a bit late.
Golf Lima Yankee, not above altitude 1,500 feet. Sorry, I forgot that really important bit of information for you.
Let's try again, so...
not above 1,500 feet, Golf Lima
Now trim here a little bit now, still trimming nose down. Right, let's try the autopilot again. Why is it doing that? Please maintain 4,000 feet. Autopilot. 4,000, it's climbing.
It's going to be another 2 minutes, I'm afraid.
Come on, man. Liverpool radar, hello, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, maintaining 4,000 feet on the pole 4 Tango.
London control on 133.7 for Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo.
Sorry. Forgot to press the button.
Easy 579 climb.
Right, I put the autopilot back in, it's just struggling to maintain 4,000. There we are, I think it's holding 4,080 feet really nicely. There we are. Right. Liverpool radar, hello, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo on a pole 4 Tango, maintaining 4,000 feet. Where are we going?
About to go 9 Charlie Romeo, London control, climb now, flight level 80.
Climb now, flight level 80, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. Okay. So just like my instructor used to say, you're very good at maintaining 4,050 feet. But it's okay, let's try this now. Right, so my speed control's nice, look, 220 knots, so I'm going to select speed now.
Right, now 2 Julia Bravo, turn left by 10 degrees, descend, flight level 80.
It's left, where are we going? Left,
left
right,
10
left,
degrees,
right.
descend 080,
Set standards.
2 Julia Bravo.
And we'll climb to 250 knots. Where are we going? It can't make its way. Left, right, 250 knots. Oh no, not 400. I'm losing a bit of FPS here as well. Oh, I can't get this 250 bugged. Now it's going to...
01, nothing further,
right, 250.
Monaco Unicorn 122, just 18, Alpaca 901.
Yeah, the autopilot's broken. Left, right.
Alpaca 320, climb.
I'm just going to route direct to the next waypoint, guys. Not pole 26. And
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, redirect to RSAT, once established, make radar heading, climb flight level 160.
Direct RSAT, climb flight level 160, once established on RSAT, we'll make it radar heading Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. So 160 is set.
We'll expedite down,
so when you get that clearance, guys, what it means is route direct to that waypoint, so direct intercept, RSAT, execute, that'll hopefully fix the left and right issues. Right, and then when we're inbound to RSAT, select heading select, so that's what he wants it to do. Right, we're best do the after takeoff checklist. That kept me very busy, but every time I engage the autopilot, it snaps. It goes really jerky. The one test sector it was much better. This one it wasn't that great. I had one where it didn't work at all, and most down to me. You know, it really is. Now he says maintain heading once established inbound to RSAT. This is probably going to take its time to settle down, but as soon as we're inbound to RSAT, we'll select the update heading button and we'll advise him of the radar heading as well. We can accelerate to 290 knots. We really need to do the after takeoff checklist now. 290. Rory sounds like a right dog's breakfast. We're getting there.
Charlie Romeo, climb flight level 280.
Climb flight level 280, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, and we're now on a heading to RSAT 024 degrees.
Okay.
Sorry guys, did he say 240? Because I was trying to say too many things at once there. Now you know exactly what I should be doing is confirming with him, but I'd like to ask you guys first.
Manchester radar
118 coming up now. So fuel cross fleet.
Okay, continue on after minute and then we'll contact radar 118.575. Thank you, good day, runner 2 Juliet Bravo.
They were off. Bleeds and APU set, lights and passenger signs as required, so we're now above flight level 100, so we can turn them off. Release the passengers. You can have a cigarette today if you want. Thrust reverse is off. And let's just check the pressurization. 280, thanks guys. Of course I'm only testing you, just making sure you're listening. There we are, 280 set.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now serving sandwiches.
Ah yes, the classic Alpaca Airways sandwiches, brilliant. Alright, thrust reversers are off. CAS checked and cleared. We've got no warnings on the ECAM. We've got climb for a set. We're on a radar heading with ATC. Oh no, we're not. We should be on a heading. Select heading, select. Yeah, that's our speed. 291. How do you actually see what your heading exactly is? 029, I guess. So on a radar heading with ATC.
Factor 320, resume your navigation to us.
Okay, good. And thrust climb as well. We're on climb, I think. Yeah, we're on climb. On climb. That's good.
Control, good evening.
Don't forget the taxi light.
Yes,
taxi light off. And also, I forgot to do as well was to energise the APU. There we are. I think we're there. But this is what it's like. This aircraft it's nice. All these buttons and bells and whistles do seem to work, which is nice. And I don't know with the autopilot, it just seems a little jerky to me. And I tried to get it in there. I think one of the mistakes I made though was I got into out capture, and I think out capture is the same as out acquire in the 7.3. And whilst it was in out capture, obviously it's no longer in a pitch to maintain its speed. It's just going to level off, and wherever you have your thrust settings, there's no auto throttle. The aircraft's just going to accelerate. So that was something that I made a mistake with, and on the aircraft. But just the autopilot just sometimes doesn't seem to want to always work here. Radios to auto, yes, very good. We are still on the have them all manually tuned.
Climb 60.
Doesn't make any difference, but it just means I'm shooting
the initial climb out of Liverpool is 3,000 feet.
Dom, have we seen APU power? APU doors open, APU power's off. Yeah, just done that. APU doors now closed.
Tango Oscar, climb now, flight level 60.
It's keeping me busy though. It's keeping me busy.
Climb now, flight level 60.
I'll just turn the alerts on, so I'll just see that come up there, Anthony. Thank you so much, buddy.
Lowland Control, good afternoon. Eurotrans 2751 just past the Lambo. You are inbound Himmel. Passing flight level 196, descending.
Just turn this out.
50,
40, 30, 20, 10.
Thanks, Flight level 370, Alpaca 9 Charlie.
Since you helped me learn to fly Zero Mod, I decided to start my own airline. Nothing wrong with healthy competition. We're a small airline based out of Mexico.
Okay.
As a thank you, we named it NATCHOFLOPS Airlines, dedicated to FP2F.
Thank you very much, Anthony Murphy, for your 20 donation. Very kind. Looks like it's Alpaca Airways doesn't always have. Sorry, it does have more than one competition now for different airline. Lama International now have Natural Flops Airlines. I see what you did there, Mexico. Could say nachos. We could call you nachos for sure. Thank you very much for your donation, Anthony. Very, very kind.
122, that's right. Alpaca 178. Bye bye.
Rick, if you can only get these clouds and explain, they do look very nice. And now I'm a little bit higher. My FPS has improved further. What's my FPS at the moment according to the Fly Live overlay? 30 FPS, which for me is fine. I'd like it to be a little bit higher, but I think for my specs that's acceptable. But the lighting is really nice. This sort of brightness with the sun coming is very true. It's very realistic. I love this.
Charlie Romeo, resume your navigation to RSAT. Dread
to RSAT, 122
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Thanks a lot, Noah Tritzo again for another donation.
Hey Siri, remind me to start the chrono before we take off. By the way, the last name is Cherico. Some people say chorizo, some people say chinchilla, but I saw you gave up on it earlier. Open mouth smile.
Oh, Noah Chorizo, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for your sense of humour as well. Because not everyone would be too impressed if I was mispronouncing their name. But thank you so much. That's very kind. And what a fantastic sense of humour you have. And thank you very much for a donation as well. That's very, very kind. I didn't give up. I didn't give up. But yeah, the timer starts automatically. Look, the elapsed timer. So I'm very happy with this one there. Thank you very much.
Direct off at 1
Very cool. Right, so let me just get this sorted here. So direct, because I'm still trying to work out how to do a direct intercept. RSAT.
50, 40,
no, I didn't like that.
30, 20, 10.
Execute. There we are. Trolls, thank you.
Sadly, I'm starting departure tour, not arrival tonight in EKCH, but glad to see you fly to Castro. Hopefully you'll catch the right position next time.
Trolls, thank you so much for your donation. Very kind. Very much looking forward to flying into Copenhagen. And I'm sorry that you can't control us this evening. However, I have provisionally planned my next live stream on Wednesday, where I'd like to take part in the Isle of Man flying event.
Hello, Ryanair 25 Golf with you, level 23.
On the, I want you to come anyway, aren't we? On the Isle of Man, there's an Isle of Man overload event in the UK, and I'm thinking of departing from Copenhagen, Trolls. The reason is I actually have the fly Tampa scenery from Copenhagen. It'll be quite befitting, having taken the CRJ there today, to depart from Copenhagen to go to the Isle of Man on Wednesday. This will be Wednesday evening, so if you wish to control then, feel free to do so. And that should be, I'll probably start that stream around 5-6 o'clock time or something. So thank you very much for your donation. Very, very kind. Yes, sorry, another Gene, you couldn't hear me over ATC. Yeah, that guy was particularly loud, but we're now over to Unicom. I'm having a little fiddle with the sounds now as we're en route as well. Let's put a little bit of background music on. And we'll turn down Microsoft Flight Simulator slightly. There we are. Cool. So we converted from 290 knots to maintain decimal 7.4. Let's just bug for 7.4 here, and yeah, it's doing a good job holding the speed. Once you get going, the navigation's a little bit left and right, but it does follow the routine quite nicely. So yeah, the setup, overall quite happy with everything that went well. The taxi, we know is an issue with Microsoft Flight Simulator, but on takeoff there, the nose started coming up around 10 knots on its own, 10 knots below VR. I just gently tried to put nose pressure down, but by the time I did that, I got to VR, rotated, I literally put the stick back a tiny amount and it just snapped into the air. That was quite unrealistic, and it seems to really, be lazy and lethargic, getting airborne for, the first 100 feet or so, and then we got away. And then yes, apart from that, I think on departure it was actually quite nice. It handled everything quite nicely. I got the speed in, but because we're climbing so quickly, we got out capture very early, so I couldn't really transition into the kind of like the autopilot. I could get the autopilot in and accurately to kind of level off, and I was a little bit late taking thrust off because remember there's no water throttle on this aircraft. So all I've got to do is, or what I forgot to do was just reduce thrust. The speed got a little bit high, only about 10 knots above what I wanted, and we got it back to 220. It's just about, this aircraft is about managing the energy at all times in climb and descent especially, because there's no direct control of your speed unless you select speed mode to descend, which is like level change in the 7.3. But otherwise, yeah, it's nice. I like the fact that everything seems to be modelled, all the bells and whistles. So, yeah. We just need Microsoft Flight Simulator, just a little bit of tidying up here. And obviously, yeah, we're going to have this, it's going to look amazing with the sun setting. That's why I checked this event, when I saw it on Vatsim, I was like, wow, that's going to be perfect. Perfect timing. Nice little flight from the UK. The clocks have changed real good here. Right, anyway, I'll catch up with you on chat here, because I've been ignoring most of the things here, so sorry about that, guys. I'll have a catch up with some of the comments as we approach here. Flight level 370, just about to level off. Let's turn the music down here slightly as well. Oscar, Aerosoft seem to be avid to fix all bugs, but a lot of it is up to Asobo to work out, like the taxi and automatic rotating issue. Yes, Oscar, I agree, and I think everyone was a little bit taken aback by the quality of this aircraft by Aerosoft.
40,
I believe in the past the
30,
didn't make such in-depth
20,
aircraft. But,
10.
this one's, it's good. I like all the bells and whistles. Thanks, Tim, for the £5.
The first alpaca car has officially been registered with the DVLA and is now on the road. Car T13 VCP, happy days.
Tim, that's amazing. I know you've been in the process of getting that registered. I can't believe you've just told the best part of 550 people your registration, but thank you very much for your donation. That's amazing. Oh, absolutely incredible. So if anyone sees that reg, amazing. I don't have VCP on my number plate. I don't have a private reg, but thank you very much, Tim, for your continued support. One of my oldest members of the channel as well. Thank you very much. Right, we're wiggling our way here at flight level 370 inbound to our next waypoint, Digby, our dog. Left, right, but we're getting there. We're just levelled off here. I want to be maintaining decimal 74, so yes, let's start taking a bit of thrust off. So we're in manual. Let's go for a target N1 around 80%. Just get that speed back to Mach decimal 74, and we're all looking good. Felix, out of data nav data. It is, but it shouldn't make any difference to the aircraft wiggling left and right. And when the nav database gets updated every 28 days, very little changes. You know, I've never seen completely different change waypoints names. Sometimes they come in, but over a period of 5 years, there'll be more changes, say, over a period of 28 days. So, yeah. I checked the routing out. It all works to the current nav database. What are you doing? Yeah, it's a little bit wiggly here. Alright, decimal 74. So a little bit of N1 there, holding the speed quite nicely. The overlay's frozen. Heads up on that, thank you very much, guys. Yeah, that's Fly Live. It is compatible with Microsoft Flight Simulator, but it sometimes crashes, so I'm just going to reload it. In X-Plane 11, it's a lot more stable, but I do sometimes find in Microsoft Flight Simulator it does need reloading. Rick, have you been
50,
drinking? Oh, a little
40,
bit wiggly, aren't we?
30, 20, 10.
Tim, thanks again. Please sit down. Tim, absolutely.
40,
I think we're
30,
good here.
20,
Oh no.
10.
Who are these people now? Who's giving... Oh, who's this?
This is so you can give away a copy of this marvellous aircraft.
Thanks, Rigged Giveaways, for the £5 donation. This is so you can give away a copy of this marvellous aircraft. £5, a little bit more expensive than that, but thanks for the donation nonetheless. Yes, often my giveaways are claimed to be rigged. 5 giveaways last time. But no, if you do ever want to do an official giveaway, you know, I'll only accept the donation from PayPal, and I'll only want you to tell me before the stream. Don't come at me as a surprise. I was so lucky with Ini builds last time because I talked to them on a personal level, the dev team, and that helped me hugely because they got me the kind of the direct link to basically getting you guys signed into getting your A300. It'll be a nightmare if I did one with this one without prior organisation. But if you ever wish to do a giveaway or sponsor a giveaway, I sometimes do my own giveaways, of course, and I will never stop doing that. I always try to do them around the Sundays when I do stream. But if you ever want to sponsor one, do let me know beforehand. Thank you for your generosity. Rigged giveaways. Right, let me just fix this overlay. We'll do some fuel checks, make sure we're all good here. So Liverpool to
50,
Copenhagen.
40,
Packer,
30,
9 and
20, 10.
Okay.
When you're overhead TESPI, you'll be 25 nanometers north of my home airport EKCH.
Oh.
Anderson Airport, where I fly a C-172 doing banner towing in real life.
That's amazing. Matches when you're overhead Tesby. So Tesby is our waypoint near our arrival, I believe. Quite a way to go. We'll be 25 miles north of my... I heard nanometers, but I don't think that's correct. But 25 nautical miles north of my home airport, EGGP, which is HC Anderson Airport, where I fly a Cessna 172 doing banner towing in real life. Very, very cool. Yeah, 25 nanometers. That's a very specific measurement. Microsoft Jeanette. Brilliant. Thank you so much for your donation there, Matthias, your 45 Danish krona. Very kind. And I'll try my absolute best to remember to wave. Thanks a lot, buddy. Awesome. So, I mean, I'm looking here at the wind, 242 at 49 knots. That makes me think that, well, we have a direct tailwind. Why are we tracking 072 but we're heading 062? That looks like we've got 10 degrees of drift. It's still trying to turn onto this line here. Just needs a little bit of tidying up. Just still changing the thrust around to maintain decimal 74. When we get to Erlop, we'll check our fuel, making sure we're all good here. We're going to be on Unicom for another 30 minutes or so. We'll be with Danish radar, Copenhagen radar before top of descent. 25 nanometers, brilliant. Domino, mostly how high are you right now in nanometers? Felix, try turning off half bank. Well, it seems to have sorted itself out now. I don't want to start doing things I don't know what it does. I think this automatically engages above a certain altitude, sort of like the way we select 10 degrees on the NG when we're above 30,000 feet. Cruise speed is Mach 0.79, says Ollie Tiny. Yep, I'm quite happy sat at Mach 0.74 today. That's what I have selected on my operational flight plan as our cruise speed. There you go. So, I thought I had 0.74, 0.77 apparently. I thought I'd selected 0.74. Well, we go up to 0.77. I think 0.79 is MMO. But no, let's go to 0.77 then, because that way it will be a little bit more accurate with our flight plan.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Thanks lots. Jono Evans, is that Isle of Man?
Looking forward to seeing the alpacas trek to Ronaldsway, Isle of Man on Wednesday.
Very good.
The red carpet will be out.
That's very generous of you. Thank you very much, Jono Evans, Isle of Man, for the £5 donation. He's looking forward to seeing us in Ronaldsway. Yes, we're taking the Zebo mod. Nice short runway. You could definitely get one in there, but it'll be a flat 40, probably a max manual brake, max auto brake job. But yeah, weather should be nice, and it's going to be crazy busy because it'll be an overload event. So we're taking plenty of fuel coming in from Copenhagen, and looking forward to it. I'll have a look at what scenery is available as well. But it's going to be fun. Thanks, man. Rohit says, are you people asking you for a marriage advice, reference to your Alpaca Airways video? Occasionally, Rohit. We do everything here at Alpaca Airways. Right, there's Mach 0.77. Let's start reducing our thrust back to maintain Mach 0.77. So it's all about fine-tuning it just to maintain your speed, just as you would with the FlyJ Sim 727 or 737-200. So just a little bit more thrust. Close on it. Keep checking every 10 minutes. Oh, blast. I said I'd do a fuel check at Erlop. Well, let's do one at the next waypoint, which is at Givem. Oops, accelerating a little bit too fast. I fine-tuned my TCA thrust. I don't have the thrust levers. I have the little thrust lever on the Airbus, but I fine-tuned it now, so it's a little bit more accurate. Onboard weddings. Philippe says, if you want to go 0.77, set the thrust to 700 fuel flow kilos per hour. That's going to be way too much, isn't it? You know what, you might not be too far off. No way. Is that just one of those rules of thumb for the CRJ? So I am looking here at the fuel flow, 700 kilos an hour. You know what, you might be right. That's incredible. What a nice little rule of thumb. It's quite hard to get it exactly at 700, but that'll be close enough. Wow! That's a fantastic rule of thumb. Philippe Canario, thank you. So if you set 700 for your fuel flow, 695, that's good enough, 82.2%. That should be holding about Mach 0.77. And look at that, this seems pretty steady on 0.772. Amazing, what a rule of thumb. Amazing. EJ4S, do you know if the Flight Tamper Copenhagen series is available for Microsoft Flight Simulator? Yes, it is. I didn't invest into it though, because I still do most of my simming in X-Plane, and I already have the Flight Tamper Copenhagen series anyway. So I didn't really see the point in getting it from Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. Right, let's have a little look here. I love the details. It's absolutely stunning. Look at that. Roy Heap says 37,000 nanometers is 0.12 feet apparently. Interesting. MMO is 0.85. You can go a lot faster. I thought it was a lot slower. I thought it was 7.9. That's pretty quick then. I wonder if that works for all altitudes because of temperature and deviations of altitude, but then again that should also affect fuel flow. Yes, I mean, I guess it's around 37,000 feet at different altitudes, of course you'll have different fuel flow measurements, but not sure about that one. Alpha Hunter, you may have already done this, but Microsoft Flight Simulator DLC was updated at 15:30 this afternoon. Now, I had a look before this stream, because I was advised beforehand, yes, there's an update out. I went to the Microsoft Store, the Marketplace, or the Content Manager, and it said it was version 0.1.2, but it gave me no option to update it. So, I don't know if that's the second from last update, but we're currently on version 0.1.2 today. But I think the one that they updated today was one sooner, but I couldn't download it. It didn't give me an option to. Rory Shields, Vatsim active on today's flight. Yes, we're currently online. We're flying into Copenhagen where there's a Vatsim event. Looking very busy on the Vatsim map ahead. There's around half a dozen of us coming in from Liverpool. So you can see, it's got a little bit fast, 7.8, but just take a tiddly bit of fuel off. N1 off. There we are, 685. That should hold it quite nicely at 7.7. You update it through the Aerosoft updater if you buy it from Aerosoft itself. But I bought it from the Microsoft store though. Matthew, so that might be why it's not working. Rohit, how did you build your hours up? So I initially got my PPL when I was 18, back in the late 2000s, around 2007, 2008. Gliding before that, and then I went and did an integrated course, so I did all my flight training at Oxford Aviation Academy. I had about 100 hours when I joined, but that was just mostly outbuilding around the UK. CPL in Arizona in 2010, and then IR in 2011, and I joined my current operator end of 2011 as well. Nearly 10 years we've been here. John Padford, apparently the latest update includes custom glide slope hold function. Now that would be useful. We'll see how we get on today. We'll see how we get on. Yeah. If not, we can just fly it manually. The indications at least are correct, which is what's important. Oh, nice, 35 FPS. Let's put some over the sea. Looks amazing. You're a man of many skills. Not really. I'm just, I've done what any commercial airline pilot's trained as. I'm no different to anyone else. Grumman says, are you using Vatsim on Microsoft Flight Simulator? Surprised, question marks and exclamation marks. Yes, it works fine as well. Yeah, generally when I fly new aircraft, the first flight I do it offline, just so we can build a bit of confidence flying the aircraft. Vatsim, they don't want you taking the aircraft online if you're not able to at least, obey simple instructions such as maintain altitude and airspeed and headings. There's no point, otherwise you're just going to cause stress for yourself, stress for the controller. It's just going to make everyone happy. But flying this aircraft on a stream once before, I did 2 practice sectors in preparation for this.
30,
and yeah,
20,
happy enough. I can get it from A to B. Maybe not as proficiently as a CRJ rated pilot, but at least hopefully safely.
Hey, thanks for brightening my days and keeping my dream of aviation alive.
Oh, thanks, man.
It was amazing to me to learn you've made it to pilot selling chicken. It's really inspiring to me.
Thank you very much to Ruth Orton, I think that's pronounced, for your £10 donation. Very kind. Really appreciate it. Yes, selling chickens from the age of 16 whilst I was still doing my A-levels. right up to the age of 19. I went full-time after finishing my levels as well. And that was to save up as much money as possible for flight training. No way could I have obviously afforded to pay for the entire flight training, but the money I did save, because I was still living with my parents at the time, it covered all my living expenses. So the cost of rent, food, living in America for 6 months, they provide the accommodation, but it kept me fed and nourished and kept all my activities going there as well. But I still had to take a whopping crappy flight training loan, which is it's a pain, but it's I'm very happy where I am now, so no regrets. But yes, if you're wanting to perhaps become an airline pilot, and I've said this every other stream, everyone's always asking this at the moment, get yourself, especially if you're a little bit younger, 60, 70, get yourself a job. Don't just sit at home. I know it can be a bit more difficult at the moment, but even if it's McDonald's, Burger King, other fast food chains available, supermarket, because employers really appreciate, they like that sort of work experience that you have, especially at a young age, and you learn a lot of vital basic skills as well. Thanks. Nuno, no weather radar. It is on, but it is not simulated with the Aerosoft CRJ, so weather is selected, and we've got the tilt at 0, but it doesn't matter what tilt you set it to, it doesn't work. Nudging, got to drop off, afternoon of perpetual meeting starting 5 minutes or so. Oh, awful. Take care, buddy. Thanks for coming in. He says butter it. Ah, yes, you can't actually see the exact butter rate, thankfully. Thanks, Anthony. Yes, that's a good, well remembered. Yes, unfortunately, at my job selling chickens once, I accidentally spilt an entire vat of chicken fat on the floor, around 10 litres. That was not popular. I really would say wants an Alpaca 737-800 checklist like Captain Joe's. If you grab the Zebo mod and select on top of the glare shield here, because a click spot for the checklist, it's also in the EFB. I helped Zebo write that over 2 years ago now, so it's all in there for you. Andre Mori says CRJ or C series. CRJ, which I didn't know this, is now owned by Mitsubishi until quite recently. Someone actually said to me, I was like, oh, it's a Bombardier CRJ. Well, actually, it's no longer Bombardier, it's a Mitsubishi CRJ. But I don't know anything about that. Alpha to 10 litres, yes, I know. It was not popular. Anyway, look at that. Well, it's 665 kilos per hour, and that's nicely maintaining decimal 77. Right, eventually I'll get a fuel check in here as well at Kutel. Ah, yes, I forgot there's a lovely little display here where you can bring up VNAV information. There we are. Love this. There we are, VNAV, and it just gives you some additional information about your next waypoints, your times, your distance from your destination. So 46 minutes flight time, 337 miles. Really like that expanded VNAV display on the ND there. Very good. Abbott used to sell beef. There you go. GJ says, what do you think about the Neo in Microsoft Flight Simulator? I haven't flown it for a while. From what I understand, it is progressing quite nicely. It's sort of the Zebo mod equivalent, which is what I'm involved with providing feedback to. But I think it still struggles against some of the pitfalls of Microsoft Flight Simulator. But I really do think Asobo are working hard to fix these issues, from what I understand. So I know Working Title, some guys from Working Title got hired to provide feedback to Microsoft Flight Simulator. So that's cool. It's looking nice to have all this sort of stuff. What I'm pleased with is the fact that they fixed, for me personally, that performance issue. That last update, it really affected my performance. My FPS was tanking everywhere, but now it doesn't drop much less than 25, and I don't have the best graphics card anymore, and I don't have the best processor, so I'm pretty happy. And I'm running everything. Don't forget Streamlabs running in the background here, Navigraph, all on one PC. Daniel Badian, how long have you been flying the 737, sir? It'll be 10 years at the end of this year. 10 years. Pangolin, by glide slope hold, did you mean tracking the glide slope vertically but leaving lateral control to the pilot? If so, can the 737 do that? My autoland just aimed parallel to the runway. Oh dear, I'm sorry to hear that, Pan. Well, yes, I mean, if you arm approach mode, Navigraph keeps telling me to upgrade Simlink, no thanks. I'll skip this version. Yes, in approach mode, if you're following an ILS, no matter what the aircraft is, it should lock onto it and fly it all the way down, bang on centerline, bang on glide slope. regardless of what aircraft you fly. Now, the CRJ, I have found, and well, basically, guys, I got an email from someone saying that the CRJ, because he saw my first stream, and he said overall I did a good job. He claims to be a CRJ pilot, and he said the reason your aircraft didn't capture the glide slope is because you captured the glide slope from level flight. The CRJ won't let you capture the glide slope from level flight, and I found that really hard to believe. I didn't email back, so I don't know if he's listening here. But he said the reason you didn't capture glide slope is because you were level at the platform altitude when you intercepted the glide slope. The aircraft won't follow the glide slope. You need to be descending, he said. You need to be descending to capture the glide slope and for the aircraft to follow it accurately. Now, maybe the CRJ, as a workaround, the Aerosoft have said, I think I've seen in a forum post, that to be able to intercept the glide slope accurately, you have to be descending at the moment. But I think it's codswallop the fact that you have to be level. I don't believe that at all. But this is what the guy said. And on the test sectors I flew, I did try it. I was descending at 500 feet per minute when I intercepted the glide slope, and yes, it managed it much better. I found that it was still diverging, and it was the fact that I think the flight director indications were correct, and the autopilot just was unable to follow the flight directors. It was just struggling. What I also found is when I configured for landing, gear down, and selected the landing flat 45, yeah, the autopilot just could not follow the autopilot. It's like it just couldn't manage it. So I just disconnected. The flight director guidance was correct, at least, but yeah, it needs a little bit of tweaking. That's all. Matthew Presley says it's fun watching another pilot fly my jet, entertaining watching you juggle the things this jet won't do for you. I think the case, Matthew Presley, is the fact it does most things that I'd usually have to do in the 737, and I don't know it's doing it. but it's always fun flying another jet with zero experience and trying to translate what I know into flying it. But very cool to have you on board here, guys. And he also, Matthew says, yeah, no, the CRJ can absolutely capture from level flight. I thought it could. I'd be very surprised if it couldn't. But yeah, what Matthew Presley, whilst you're here, what do you think of the CRJ? Seeing you are a CRJ driver, that would be great to know what you think about it. If you've tried it, no doubt you probably have if you've popped into this stream. Right, I keep saying I'll do fuel checks, but we keep on getting distracted, chatting away here. We'll try another one at Surat here in 20 miles. What's that? So let's have a look here, because it does look amazing. I'm never going to deny the fact that that is absolutely spectacular. And it's exactly how it would look, really. The lighting, beautiful, really nice. Philippe says that glide slope, yes, is a Microsoft Flight Simulator thing. As far as I know, the real plane can capture from level flight. That's why Aerosoft came with new code for it. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know who this person was who emailed me. Based on the grammar, I found it very, very unlikely that they were perhaps not a pilot. Not saying that you need to have perfect grammar, because my grammar's not perfect at all, but I was a little bit dubious with the fact that this person claimed to be a pilot. As mixed views on the clouds, Listerman says clouds still look like comic book smoke, otherwise some people say it looks beautiful. Yeah, I mean, it looks okay. I mean, this sort of texture here, looks like a pile of sugar, I'll admit, but sort of in this distance that looks really nice, but a little bit closer up, yeah, I'm not so sure about that. But the shadows from other clouds, that like effect is absolutely awesome, really nice. Very cool. Ollie says Mitsubishi are developing their own regional jet, the Space Jet, so bought the CRJ for manufacturing maintenance facilities. Well, there you go. Didn't know that. Matthew Schmidt, estimated time en route to test me. Let's have a look. Love that. I think there's a way of getting that information displayed here. We are meant to be overhead test speed 1836. There you are. So 1836 Zulu. So you're 2 hours ahead of Zulu now in Copenhagen. So it'll be 8:36 local in Denmark. There we are. Yeah, like Aerosoft. I think the systems it's great. All the bells and whistles, I've said it several times. The fuel pumps, they all seem to do something. All the systems, the FMS seems to be fully modelled. There doesn't seem to be anything that doesn't work. Matthew, it has bugs, but I'm really impressed with the detail Hans went into with the plane. Best example is you can press MFD data and MFD menu and select from all the pages for the MFD data. And yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, this is in depth. I mean, how did they get all this information? That's really impressive. You know, the 737 has additional pages that are not in the mod yet. But that's FMS on position, sensors, so it's the input for, I mean, the 737, it's not just getting its position information from GPS, it uses input from VRDME, IRS, FMS, combines it all here. I think that's just from FMS position 1, position shift. Very neat. Yeah, I like it. So, once they've tidied up the autopilot a little bit, and to be fair, you know, I've been testing the Zebo mod for 2 years. It's also had the same sort of issues. Zebo's had to custom make an autopilot to allow it to work in X-Plane 11. The autopilot is very good now. It still isn't perfect. It still needs some tweaking here and there. It always does. And usually one step forward. Sometimes it's 2 steps back because it might break something. So I'm not an expert in that field at all. So I always have a respect for developers, regardless of the final product. But yeah, the systems seem so in depth here. Right, look, well, imagine we pass Gurat because I keep forgetting to do fuel checks. Let's see how she's performing there. Right, let me bring up the flight plan here. So Gurat, I think we passed around a couple of minutes ago. Where are you on the flight plan? So 42 minutes, going to be down here. Not Gurat, Surat. I was going to say Surat, 39 minutes, so 42 makes sense. Around 3 minutes ago, we should have 1904 tons of fuel on board. So don't forget, we took an extra 1,600 kilos. So we should have 2,935 on board plus a little bit less. We actually got more than that. We got 3,600. We got plenty of gas. Plenty of gas. Took an extra hour's worth of fuel. Cool. That sounds like Copenhagen's cooling. They are. Let's get the frequency in now. Oh, it takes so long. Whizzing away here on my radio tuning panel. 2605. Yeah, I don't know if they can change the radio tuning panel so it actually can do it in 0.25 increments because this is taking ages. There we go.
Quality 427 Copenhagen, hello, identified climb flight level 190, and you wish to make an approach at Aalborg first?
Brilliant. So good.
Yeah, we would like
better turn the lighting up in here as well.
In Aalborg, and then proceed. Is Aalborg negative? Is Aarhus post online?
No, they're all in for Copenhagen because we have almost 70 arrivals right now.
Oh!
Then we will
70 arrivals! It's great they've come online. I think Copenhagen obviously is well represented by scenery developers, Flight Tampa obviously, well known there, so I think when these events pop up I don't often see them in Copenhagen, so I was like, ooh, let's fly in there. Great airport.
With you,
with you? Oh, I can just hear my instructor
Copenhagen
when she's going,
Copenhagen, go after identified, climb flight level 210.
Climb level 210, Scandinavian 1210.
Scandinavian 1210, you'll be clear to Tisby for Tisby 2 Foxtrot.
We clear Tisby for Tisby 2 Foxtrot, 1210, maybe still flying direct Trano?
Nope, Tisby.
Copy on Tisby.
Copenhagen radar, hello, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, maintaining flight level 370 inbound Petal.
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, Copenhagen, hello, identified.
Perfect.
Alpaca 29 Delta Bravo, contact Polaris 120.
So yeah, just before it gets dark, I was going to get the lighting up here, so flood lighting, not too bright. CV panel I don't need turning up here.
Scandinavian 202, proceed direct to waypoint Loksa.
Direct Loksa, Scandinavian 202.
202, correct, descent when ready, flight level 130.
We wouldn't usually have the dome light on, but just going to make it a little bit easier to see a rig here, that's what I wanted to find.
November 295 kilo, please maintain, can you maintain 300 knots?
Lighting's great.
300 knots is kind of pushing it, but yeah, we can do it.
Yes.
Well, just give it the best you can.
Sure, no problem.
November 295 kilo, descend when ready, flight level 250.
Perfect. So there's top of descent.
Descending
you
down
can see
to
it's generated
250,
around
November
160 miles away.
Copenhagen.
It's Copenhagen control, sorry. Yeah, we always refer to it as radar en route though. If you're not sure, just go radar. I've never called a upper airway control in my career. I want to deselect airport. It's a bit there we go. It's a little bit cluttered. There we go. That looks a little bit tidier. Now, yeah, otherwise it's displaying every single airport, I think, on the display. Cool. So, no other further instructions from Petal. When we get around 100 miles away, we'll start setting up. Now, what I like about the CRJ, there isn't actually that much to set up when flying an ILS. The frequencies I tune manually. Courses are automatically generated, the minimums, and then you just need to brief it. We don't have VNAV, but you do have this VNAV guidance, a little star, and it's really useful. It does actually work quite nicely. I think it's just a fixed flight path angle of 3 degrees, but I flew it earlier using vertical speed, and it was quite nice. Is Matthew here still? Matthew, Aerosoft saying descent, they never use speed mode. Generally don't use speed mode, use vertical speed. I quite like using speed mode in descent, because it's like level change in descent 37.
Charlie, contact Copenhagen, 121-375.
You just pitch for a speed, but vertical speed works, but I just guess you don't descend with idle thrust that often. Matthew says, for anyone wondering how good Microsoft Flight Simulator graphic-wise is, let me tell you this. What is outside that window beyond any shadow doubt looks 100% real. Agrees. I mean, that is just perfect. And I know when I went to their thing in Seattle, their pre-releasing, they were talking about how they developed the light scattering effects, especially at sunset and stuff, so yeah. Agreed, especially looking in that direction. So yeah, it's beautiful. There's no denying that. Pierre says, go low down and look up at the plane. The contrail and plane look awesome. You're the boss.
Quality 427, direct to Barkit. You expect runway 26 right.
Oh yeah, that looks good. I'll give you that. How far down do you want to go?
Alpaca 901, say speed.
Look at that.
Alpaca 901, 320.
Windows Tech Support, what settings are your high end?
Yeah, let's see, how can we fit you in? We do speed to 300 knots.
Kieran, I guess it could potentially be a hazard, being it has no auto throttle. If you're in speed mode and become fixated on a task while it levels off, you'll be idle for us level flight. True, but
300 knots, Alpaca 901.
if we had the auto throttle inoperative, and the same with vertical speed, it doesn't matter what pitch mode you're in.
Alpaca 901, I have a small change for you. Turn right heading
whenever the aircraft levels off, regardless of what pitch mode you use, level change or vertical speed, if your thrust is at idle, or not quite idle, it'll bring the speed back. You always got to keep an eye on it.
Just confirm 270.
But, you know, I do love the sim, I like it, but I still,
Get over 1210,
just feels, I don't know if it's more because I'm used to it, I don't think it is, but it just feels nicer when I'm flying, when you're hand flying anyway, it just feels nicer. Again, I've not flown the CRJ, so I don't know. Rick says, can Zebo start working on Microsoft Flight Simulator? I don't think he will be.
Scaven 202, confirm you are able. Loxa, Lima, Oscar,
the
Kilo,
lighting
Sierra
and the
Alpha.
reflections, look at that, it's so good.
Repeat. Lima, Oscar.
Kilo, Sierra Alpha.
Amazing.
Lima, Oscar, Kilo, Sierra Alpha.
Love those reflections. And then when you hit the window, look. That is so
Scandinavian
nice.
1210, contact Copenhagen,
Very nice.
121-375, go after.
Copenhagen 11375, go
I wonder what X-Plane 12 will bring, who knows?
Contact level
Who knows?
approach.
Ja, jag ser det.
How do I turn on the lighting on the MCP here?
Quality 427, contact Aalborg approach. Nej, jeg er faktisk standby.
Next thing. Cool. Well, I don't think I've forgotten anything
Quality
too major.
427, contact Aalborg approach, 123-975.
What's gonna do? What's gonna do now?
EG1959, contact Copenhagen, 121.375.
HG. Oh, for the heads-up display, maybe. Not sure. I honestly don't know what that is. It's cool.
Alpaca 901, proceed direct waypoint Tudlow, Tango Uniform Delta Lima Oscar.
Direct to Tudlow, Alpaca 901.
What if he'll get a
Alpaca
shortcut
901,
later?
that is correct. Further clearance is coming with Copenhagen, 121.375. All the best.
Felix Lensler makes me think you're looking at it through the camera, not your eyes. True. Matthew.
Alpaca 901, contact Copenhagen,
121.375.
Matthew says I need speed mode below 10,000 feet, speed mode at high altitude, really slow reactions. Speed was on the plane cycling between 4,000 feet per minute and level flight as it chases it. Ah, interesting. See, the 737 Matthew is rock solid. We have level change, which is the same as speed, and in level change, you just bump the speed, and the aircraft will nail that speed. It will pitch to maintain that speed regardless of your thrust setting. It's very, very good. Very interesting. Oh yeah, look, I actually have some window views now. Look, there we go. Look. Look, the attitude looks a bit higher, that view, but I think that's because the camera's sort of slanted. I don't know how to edit custom views.
Copenhagen Control, good evening. Lima Pistol 5 with you, flight level 450 inbound input.
A Tango duck question, not at all, sir. What key do you use to move around inside the cockpit? I use a combination of the arrow keys, full stop and semicolon.
I need to do another flight level. The flight level is not available to your direction of flight. Would you like level 430?
So we're talking at once.
Lima 245, your flight level is not available for your direction of flight. Can I offer you flight level 430 instead, please?
Sure. Flight level 430, Lima Pistol 5.
Very nice. Oh, someone wants the weather in somewhere New Zealand.
Up to SA to Quebec Hotel, contact Sweden Control 127.75.
1277.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what X-Plane do next. Because how long has X-Plane 11? X-Plane 11 been out now? A while. 4 or 5 years? No, more than that perhaps. No, because the channel's 4 years old. When I started the YouTube channel Flight Sim, I'd never used X-Plane 11 in my life. Or X-Plane at all.
Alpaca 1 Tango Oscar inbound test flight level 350.
Alpaca 1 Tango Oscar, Copenhagen, hello, identified. Alpaca
178,
say Mach number?
Once that was me. Again, this is, I mean, in real life, how much does the CRJ cost? Oh, I have no idea.
Say Mach number. .755.
Keep it for that pre-save.
What does that mean?
Look at that. That lighting. Beautiful. Right, anyway, we're approaching top of descent. Just checking our speeds. Just
178, maintain Mach decimal
dipped
7,
a little bit below 77, so just a little bit of thrust there.
Decimal 7.
Cool, so let me grab the Navigraph charts for our arrival.
Correct. Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, say Mach number?
Mag decimal 77, Alpaca 9 at Charlie Romeo.
Where did I reduce Mach 75 to?
75, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. Easier said than done without an auto throttle. Right, decimal 75, let's just reduce thrust. So now gives you a rough idea of how busy it is later on. Abby, what was your first video? The easiest way is to go to my videos on YouTube and select date order and then reverse it and you'll be able to see the first one. And it was a go-around tutorial. I did actually make an ILS tutorial which I deleted later on. Just because it was rubbish. And I don't like looking back at it. I might remake some of them because it was obviously back when I was using FSX on my laptop, my Dell XPS. It was a bit of a cronker. Yeah, I mean, it gets the information out. That's why I've not deleted them. Yes, they might not look as great as it does in modern Sims, but the information hasn't changed. So, right, there's 7.5 for ATC. Keep a close eye on that because remember, there's no auto throttle, but we'll maintain 7.5. Just have a little bit of thrust there. And let's grab the charts. So I'm going to show you all the charts first and then kind of set them up afterwards. So there's several...
Alpaca 178, proceed direct waypoint to Tutlo, Tango Uniform Delta Lima Oscar.
Yeah, that's better. So we're going to be routing in via test speed. Now there's loads of different test speed arrivals.
Charlie Romeo, you may resume normal speed, Mach decimal 78.
Free speed, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. I'll go back up to decimal 77. So that's thrust again. So yeah, there's multiple test B arrivals. Test B 1 November I have selected here. There's a 1 Mike, which is designed for straight in for runway 04, which we won't be flying because the wind's coming in from the southwest. This is the one we're expecting going from test B, Rosby, Trano, and then we have an RNAV transition via 887, 884, 883, 882, 881, all the way to Lamox. Now I'm expecting vectors at some point, because actually for 2 reasons. One, the event in Vatsim is called Vectors to Copenhagen, and it's a weather radar. It's the ATC radar's job to typically put aircraft on vectors when it's very busy, because they can far better control them instead of keeping them on loads of different RNAV arrivals from different directions. Matteo Gomez, is he a rail pilot? Edward Christian says, some say he is. I've been tricking you all for 4 years now, guys. Oh dear. Yes, I'm a skipper on the 737. You might be asking, who do you work for? Which will probably be the next question. That's something I like to keep private. My operator is well aware of my channel. They give me full permission to do it, which I'm very grateful for, especially in these funny times. So thank you very much for respecting my privacy on that matter. Brilliant. Thank you, Domino Mosina, for bringing that one up as well. Cool. So that's the arrival. Let's check the FMS to make sure all those waypoints are in.
Alpaca 178, confirm you're proceeding to Tutlo.
It's not me. That's good. So here's the legs page, and we'll just step through that here. Bring up Navigraph again. I keep forgetting. I can't. When I bring up Navigraph, it's not on my monitor, so I can't. It's on my second monitor, so I sometimes forget it's there. So there we can see the routing: Tesby, Robsy, Trano, Charlie Hotel 887. At above flight level 70 at that point. We should be way above that for a CDA. Next page, you can see, look, we have 884, 883, 882, 881 onto the extended centre line via India Foxtrot 22 Lima. So that's all there. 881's on the extended centre line. It actually goes via Lamox, but instead of Lamox, if you look here on the ILS page, they have the initial fixed point, which I believe is this one here at 9.3 miles. Or maybe the one afterwards. Let's go to the next page. Oh yeah, no, there we are. So you have Oscar X-Ray Sierra 93. That's the kind of final approach fixed point there, 9.3. So that's the point at which we intercept the ILS. And you can see it aiming to put us at 3,000 feet as a hard altitude. So I'm happy it's all coded correctly. At that point we're in the FMS now. We do actually have a missed approach now coded. I wasn't sure if it was there before. But you can see on the missed approach, climb straight ahead 500 feet and then 1 mile from Oscar X-Ray Sierra. It's a left turn, 187, climbing to 3,000. So we've got 500 feet there. I'm just going to use heading select 187. So it is actually coded. Missed approach is all there in the FMS. So that's the kind of lateral routing. Let's just check our speed here. See how quickly it's getting dark now as well as we fly away from the sunset. Oh, yeah, we're meant to be doing 77. So we are free speed, so we can do whatever we like, but we'll try and maintain. Very tricky to keep an eye on it. I just saw that, Ollie Crocky. Jalpaca Airways. I'm at Amsterdam. That arrivals never use the vectored approaches. That's fine. I've just planned this one because it has a lateral routing. If it gives us vectors, no problem. I'll just go heading select and then select the correct arrival. I've been to Copenhagen a few times. It's been a few years now, but I can't remember
50,
exactly what
40,
arrival I got there.
30, 20, 10.
Thanks, Kieran Harvey, for the £3 donation. Very, very kind of you.
You should definitely try out the expressway visual for runway 31 at LaGuardia would be Mega in FS 2020 with CRJ.
Thank you very much, Kieran Harvey, and thank you very much for the suggestion. I might take a gander at that. Yes, I've only done ILS approaches, nice and easy so far, so perhaps challenging with visual or some sort of approach like that would be quite nice. Thank you very much for your suggestion. I hope you're doing very well, Kieran. In fact, I do need to get in contact with you again because I am planning the train sim on the second channel soon, so I'll get back to you with advice. Thanks a lot, buddy, and I hope you're well. Cool, so we briefed the one of the arrivals, the RNAV arrival, which covers us here. Let's just bring up the ILS chart again. So the courses CRJ automatically tunes it, which is great. All I do to make sure I definitely get the ILS is hard tune the frequency, which is what it says in the tutorial. So 1095. I go here to nav. This I probably don't need to do this, but it works. I'm comfortable with it because it definitely makes sure I fly the ILS. So 1095 active, and you can see it's no longer in auto. So 1095, and it shouldn't change now. Make that the same on the FO side. 195. There we are. So there's active box 1 and 2. Just keep an eye on our speed. 7-8.
Number 313 before you go, please stop climb flight level 310.
Minimums for the approach then. Let's bring up the charts one more time. So we're happy with the platform altitude at 3,000 feet. And Captain ILS is going to be 208 DA.
Say again,
so it's down here.
Stay with me for the time being.
Roger. MDA, because it isn't a DH.
Papa Mike, monitor Unicorn
Set that to 210. There we are, so you can see MDA on the top of the PFD. Round that up to 210 feet set. That's about it really. We've briefed everything. Go around could be interesting, so I don't know the exact go around actions, but I'm going to firewall it into toga. Positive come gear up. We'll select a heading select. After that distance of 1 mile, left turn 187, retract flaps, climbing to 3,000 feet. So that's what we'll do. There we go. Rory says, any chance you might try American Truck Simulator for the second channel? American alpacas need their logistics. Yes, we've only stuck to ETS2. I might take a look at that. As suggested a few streams ago, some people wanted to do the City Skyline city building one, which is another thing I've been thinking of. I might do something tomorrow night. Tomorrow I'm actually, the weather forecast UK is beautiful tomorrow, so we're having a little rule of 6 day out tomorrow morning, travelling to a local park. So looking forward to that. Obviously, first easement of lockdown here in the UK, but maybe something in the evening. We'll see.
Number 313, climb level 32.
Cool. So we've done the star. We briefed the ILS. It's going to be busy, guys. Potential holding as well. So looking at our routing coming in via Tesby, they have a lot of holds available. The main one here is at Rosby. 70 aircraft inbound. I don't know where they all are, but hopefully not all at once. That's why I wanted to come in a little bit earlier. But all looking good at the moment. We'll hold it. How is holding here in here? I did actually see their hold page is active, so you can select hold here and enter one, but I haven't actually tried it. We'll have to see what happens. Cool, so frequencies, courses, minimums, brief the missed approach, landing performance then, yes. So this unfortunately is a default airport.
Just confirmed, descend flight level 250.
Descend flight level 250, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. Oops, missed that one. No one seemed to spot it in chat either. Right, we'll set that up now then. So a bit early, but 250 is now... Oh, it's so fiddly.
50,
so
40,
fiddly.
30, 20, 10.
250 is set. We're going to select vertical speed. And we're just going to go... Why is it saying altitude cap 4? I want to go down now. Vertical speed. There we are. And we're just going to do a gentle 500 feet per minute. Maintain Mach decimal 77. Thank you very much to Stealthalon. Hi, Captain. Glad I could catch a live stream. Any plans to return to the 7-2? Stealthalon, that is the next different aircraft we're going to be flying. Zebo mod on Wednesday. Next one will be the 727. So thank you very much for your donation. I'm going to get back into looking into see if it's been updated by FlyJSim, and we're going to do a nice little cargo sector either on Friday or Saturday in that aircraft. But thank you very much for your donation. It is coming very soon. Guys, top of descent in chat. Down we go. We're a little bit early for top of descent, so I'm just going to do a gentle 500 foot per minute descent rate. Maintain Mach decimal 77, and down we go. How's the sounds? Maybe turn up Microsoft Flight Simulator slightly. I usually compare it with the music. I'll have a little bit of descent music, but is that the moon rising? No way. Look at that. I think that could be the moon rising there, guys. Amazing. Moonrise is awesome in the real aircraft, and it looks just like that with the atmospheric scattering and the light bending. It's very dark coloured initially, and then it gets bigger and bigger. Superb. That's no moon. Just watch our speed there.
Tiger 9 Charlie Romeo, contact Copenhagen 121-375.
121375, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. Thanks to ATC, bye. That's no boon. 121375.
Thank you much.
Copenhagen, very good evening. Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. We're sending flight level 250 inbound to Tesby.
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, good evening to you. Clear Tesby 2 Foxtrot, expect runway 2 to left.
Cleared Tesby 2 Foxtrot and expecting 2 to left. Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. So,
Ryanair 562, call Copenhagen approach.
So we were briefing the Tesby 1 Mike. We're just going to have a look at the 2 Foxtrot. It's going to be pretty much identical. So let me just select that arrival here.
268, descend flight level
Show
100.
it to you.
Descend level 100, test rate to effect.
Okay, so 27.
Now, if I change the arrival in the FMS, will it crash? Because I did see a report about that. If it's likely, I might just fly this one anyway and use heading select. So I'm just getting the chart open on window. Test me 2 Foxtrot.
Alpaca 320, call Copenhagen approach, frequency 119.8. 119.8, Alpaca 30, bye.
Found it. Oh, right guys. Really? I'm not going to select anything else. The reason is, let me just show you the arrival here. You see how it goes from Tesby to Robsey to Trano, and then after Trano, it's just vectors. So all I'm going to do, guys, is leave it exactly as it is, because if you look here in the FMS, Tesby, Robsey, Trano, and when I get to Trano, I'm just going to go heading select, and I can actually use these waypoints in the FMS to help me build a sort of vertical profile using VNAV. So I'm happy. Even though it's a different arrival, we've briefed it, we've covered it, and after Trano, we're just going to go heading select, maintain 089, and a max 250 knots. That's all I'm going to do. Cool. Just Angel, are you going to give away a CRJ?
Increase rate of descent and descent flight level 90.
Descent flight level 90, increase rate to descent Alpaca 9 at Charlie Romeo. I'm not playing. I've not played any giveaways today. I do giveaways. Don't you worry about that. Keep your eyes peeled. And I don't want anyone to go crazy now. It was crazy last time. Please, if you ever want to donate, sponsor me, let me know. But yeah, we'll do giveaways not today. And I'm very upset people always ask that.
198, Cathay 268, thanks for service, good night.
So it's 126 uniform, Carl Bremen, radar frequency 123, decimal 925.
Excellent. So here's that little VNAV star, which provides sort of some guidance on where you should be vertically. There is no VNAV, there's no mode you can select to allow the aircraft to follow this, but it gives you a kind of a rough idea of where you should be. I've used it and it works quite nicely. Sorry, I did ask guys how was the sound, but I missed out. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Where's that moon gone? Oh, look, it's because we're descending slightly below the cloud now, so we can't see it. But yeah, that is stunning. That is perfect. That lighting is perfect. Really amazing. Anyway, let's... just keeping the speed under control.
Switch 140, send flight level 200.
Thanks, Listerman. Peter, its ground effect on landing feels a lot worse than the update, so it's a float bonanza. You need to push the nose down a lot if you want to fly away. It's always been an issue in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I tested this version earlier. I don't think I've got it. As soon as I was in the flare, it just didn't want to get down. A lot of people I've noticed in the simming community have this big comment about ground effect, and they think the ground effect is such a thing. Yes, ground effect is a thing, but it is very... It's not that noticeable unless you're very light on flat 30 in the 737. You know, you get to 20 feet, you check, you close and hold the attitude, it just settles down really quickly. It settles down quite nicely. It's not this sort of invisible cushion of air which alters there. It's so pronounced, even in X-Plane 11, this sort of overpronounced. In Microsoft Flight Simulator, it's 5 times worse. I mean, in the CRJ, being such a low wing close to the ground, I should think it's probably more susceptible to ground effect. But on the 7.3, there's not this sort of sensation that you feel like you're floating. Unless you're very light. You can if you're very light. If you're coming a little bit fast, and the aircraft's got a bit of excessive energy, you can sort of... It doesn't want to settle down so quickly. There we are. Right. There's passing flight level 300. It's all good. We're under ATC. Remember, the arrival after it's going to change now. After Toronto, we're going to maintain a radar heading. I love that AFO 3310. It's ground effect for me. Ground effect. Looking good. Guys, not even said it once. If you are enjoying the video, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button to stay up to date with the latest content. Subscribe as well. We're usually streaming around 3 times a week at the moment in these quiet aviation times. But as I was saying earlier, I was actually at work all weekend. It's been really nice. No flying, unfortunately, but in the sim, doing some conversion training. Very excited to talk about it at a later date as well. But yeah, fingers crossed for a bit more of a normal summer. So looking good. I'll flash up the arrival for you as well, so you can see there's Toronto. After that,
and you're still descending a bit too slow. Are you able to increase further?
Yeah, we'll go back at 9 Charlie Romeo. In fact, let me just see. I do feel very high here. That VNAV star descent. Let's just give him 3,000 feet per minute, and we're maintaining 290 knots now. What's our total distance to run? 30 miles. Oh my God, is that correct? No, can't be. Let me. No, that's not right. How do I find out distance to run? Should be quite. I don't know if that little star thing is accurate. I thought it was earlier. Progress. That's better. 80 miles. 8, 16, 24,000 feet. No, we're perfect. We're perfect. I'll just help him out. I was thinking 26 miles away. I'm not that close. We're 80 miles away. Here, that's your distance, 80 miles, times that by 3, 24,000 feet we should be at, 25,000, so we're quite nice here, but now we're back on profile, we'll give it a nice descent rate. Just going to maintain 290 knots until 10,000 feet. Very good.
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, call approach 119 decimal 8.
119 decimal 8, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. Have a good day.
Yes, sir. Alpaca 178, also for you, call approach 119 decimal 8.
119 decimal 8, bye bye, Alpaca 1.
Copenhagen approach, good evening, Alpaca 9 to Charlie Romeo. We're sending flight level 90 and inbound to waypoint Toronto.
9 Charlie Romeo, hello, identify this speed 220 knots, descend flight level 70.
Descend flight level 70 and reducing speed to 220 knots, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo.
1210, turn left heading 060.
The ATC in V-Pilot sounds really good. I prefer over X-Pilot much more. This sounds perfect. I don't know what the difference between V-Pilot and X-Pilot is with regards to audio, but this sounds so much better in V-Pilot. Right, 220 knots. I'm going to have to do speed brake here. Jumpy little MCP, and one of the other things is the displays are very small, so I understand for viewers, unless you've got it could be a little bit more difficult for you to see. I'll just decrease our rate of descent slightly, just around 2,500 feet. That will help us slow down to 220 knots as well. We'll use a bit of speed brake as well.
040 Scandinavian 1210.
Good, so speed's coming back, we're descending flight level 70, ATC's happy.
Alpaca 901, turn right heading 130, descend 5,000.
Oh, we should be on a heading now as well, 089 degrees.
QNH 1023, descend to 5,000 feet and turn heading 130.
So just to remind you guys, that's the arrival now, yeah look, max 250, so I should have just slowed down a little bit sooner. Oh my goodness me, that's a bit of a whoopsie. You know what to do, guys, in chat. For a maximum of 120 on this rifle, about 4,000 feet high. No wonder he was saying I was too high. Whoops, that's a little bit. I mean, not in hindsight, but he did change the star. That's why it's really important to always check it. And usually ATC are quite good. They'll say, okay, send Toronto, please be level at 120. They always remind you of the restriction. So I think that would have kicked me into gear. No wonder I was quite high there. Outrageous comments. But that's what happens when star changes. Make sure you actually check all of it there.
Alpaca 901, turn right heading.
But for the profile at least, it's going to be a nice continuous descent.
Turn right 220, Alpaca 901.
KSA 268, call final 120.
So it's flashing at me like this because
120.2, call final,
KSA, correction, Alpaca 178.
Hello, 5,000 feet.
Alpaca 178, hello to identify, expect vector silence 2 to left, speed 220 knots, descent flight level 70. Eastern 4070, speed 220 knots, and 22 left. Alpaca 178.
Is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? VNAV, that's it, VNAV. Descent page. There we are, 5,000 feet. That'll stop the QNH blinking at me.
Jet 224, fly heading 010.
Execute. There we are. Oh, look, it's tuning up the... Oh, no, that's just... No, I thought it was tuning up the localizer already. Not allowed. Localizer will be tuned. So I think this comes in, and then you'll see, look, it will tune the localizer for the approach.
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, descent flight level 60, turn left heading 040.
Left heading 040 degrees, and descend flight level 60. Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. Look at that moon. So still a flight level, so 60 sets. I'm now going away from the airport, so I'm going to get rid of that speed brake. And here we go, because the localizer's been tuned at lock 1. All looking good, and we're doing 220 knots. So now we're going away from the airport. I'm going to start reducing our rate of descent around 1,000 feet. Otherwise, it's just going to get lower. And just adding that thrust to maintain 220 knots. Look at that moonrise. Amazing.
Good evening, identify descent flight level 70, expect vector silence 2 to left, fly heading 080.
Look at the lights of the other aircraft. Look, can you see the aircraft there?
Maintains flight level 70 and
amazing. Right, just adding that thrust just to maintain 220 knots.
Heading 080.
I love these Vatsim events with a bit more traffic. Just so realistic. Guys, enjoy the stream. I hope you all are. I love it. I love little challenges flying these different aircraft. We better put the seatbelt sign on.
Roger. Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, descend altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1023.
Descend 5,000 feet, QNH 1023. Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. So 5,000 feet set. 102.
0401 descent.
3 is now set, passing 12,700 for 5,000 feet, and I think the standby altimeter should be set. There we are, it's set. So just keep an eye on the speed at all times to find this aircraft. Just want to make sure you're maintaining 220 knots at all times. Very good.
Alpaca 2 Tango Charlie, turn left.
Kaisis, how do you find the approach chart? Sorry, how do you find the glide slope angle? It's always on the approach chart. Navigraph here, look, 3 degrees.
Final 120.2, course on only. AFM final 120.2, course on only.
So going away from the airport, just slowed that rate of descent to 1,000 feet per minute, just maintaining 220 knots.
Swiss 414 heading.
Set landing elevation, yeah, done that, Oliver. 20 feet. Where was it? Where's it gone? It's on one of these displays, I swear, 20 feet.
Good evening, Kenneth. Identify. Descent flight level 7, so expect vector silence.
Cass. I definitely did 20 feet earlier, didn't I? Was that from my test sector? I tell you what, if it's definitely not done, I'll do it now, look. There you are, 20 feet.
Call final, correction. Turn left by 5 degrees and call final 120.2, call final.
Left
looking good. Speed's bang on 220 knots with the oil throttle. Looking good.
Thank you.
Yeah, landing elevation here, the actual elevation is 17 feet. Helmax, do you have the...
9 Charlie Romeo, turn right heading 130 degrees.
Right heading 130 degrees. Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo.
Speedbird 5, Mike, open approach, very good evening, identified. Speed 220 knots, local QNH is 1023, expect ILS 2 to left.
So let's now go in here and route direct to this waypoint here, not 883, 882. So direct.
Swiss 414, descent flight level 6.
Which one is it again? Directed descent. 882.
Speedbird 51, Mike, fly heading 300.
And that's why I wanted to keep that arrival, because it gives me nice waypoints to put into the FMS.
Alpaca 901, descent altitude 4,000 feet.
Alpaca 901, descent to 4,000 feet.
Go down to 2,000 feet per minute now. Might getting a bit more of a straight in, just to bring that thrust back, just so I can maintain 220 knots. And there's altimeters. We'll do the post-cruise check. So fuel, all pumps are on, and we have 3 tons. Lights coming on. APUs are pressurizations all set. Seatbelts
Speed 220 knots. 1 Tango Oscar.
On. And we've got nothing on the ECAM checks complete, so I'll mute the alerts.
Switch 414, turn left heading 360 degrees, descend altitude 5,000 feet, finish 10.
All looking good. So pretty much idle thrust now. Glide slopes come alive as well. So they're obviously quite high because we're miles away still. Just keeping an eye on the speed here, because actually, you know what? I might go speed mode. And then I can just pitch for 220 knots.
Alpaca 901, turn left heading 040.
040, Alpaca 901.
Alpaca 2 Tango Charlie, call final 120.2, calls on only.
120.2, calls on only, Alpaca 2.
Alpacas everywhere, love it. Thanks for taking part, guys. And I know a lot of controllers, like, they always message afterwards saying they appreciate the traffic, you know, clouds. Oh, is there a way to turn the lighting down on this, or turn the screen off? Was that for me?
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, turn right heading 220.
Right heading 220 degrees, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. Okay, so that's...
Alpaca 1 Tango Oscar, turn right heading 080.
That's obviously not good news. We're not going to... I thought we were going to get straight in here, but no.
1 Tango Oscar.
1 Tango Oscar, descent flight level.
We're getting sent away here, so... 220.
60, 1 Tango Oscar.
Mike,
and then back to vertical speed, just 500 feet per minute, because we're going away from the airport. So instead of holding...
Good evening, Equilibrium Flight with you inbound.
So instead of getting us holding, they're just getting delayed vectors, we're going, orbited around, which is quite common in a lot of airports.
140.
Swiss 414, speed 200, heading 040.
Just watch our speed there, just dropping off a little bit, maintain 220. Traffic everywhere, look.
Echo Lima 245, opening approach, hello identified, descent flight level 70 and speed 220 knots.
Click the 3 bars for the off menu. What's that? Ah, sorry. Yes,
hello identified, descent flight level 70, expect ILS.
Oh, much better.
Descending 70, expecting ILS 2 to left, Canary 628.
So we're now heading away from the airport.
You better find my contact final 120.2, course on only.
Again, just trying to maintain a CD8. We haven't levelled off yet, so it's leaving our flight level.
Alpaca 901, call final 120.2, course on only.
Can you send the intake? Sorry, Alpaca 901.
He did come quick.
901, final 120.2, calls on only.
120.2, call sign only, Alpaca 901.
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, descend altitude 4,000 feet.
Descend 4,000 feet, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. So 4,000 feet is now set.
Alpaca 128, requesting.
There we are, so 220 knots, that thrust is quite nice, around 57%.
Call you back for that. Actually, Alpaca 178, descend 5,000 feet, finish 1023.
Just need to head in the right direction still.
1023, Alpaca 1.
Very good.
Alpaca 178, turn right 130.
Beautiful.
130, Alpaca 128.
Look at all the traffic. So much traffic around.
Swiss 414, turn right heading 200.
Everywhere.
Scanner 628, turn left heading 260.
Very busy. Oh, looks at the Vatsim map. Crazy.
Left 360, stopping at 8,000.
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, turn left heading 040.
Left heading 040 degrees, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo.
Alpaca 1 Tango Oscar, turn left heading 040.
Left heading 040.
So 180 turn, back in the right direction now.
Alpaca 178, descend altitude 4,000 feet. 4,000 feet, Alpaca 178.
This controller seems to be... He's put us all on vectored holds and stuff like that, but he seems to be managing it really nicely. Some guys I sometimes hear on Vatsim, they're overworked because they're putting on vectored holds. It is easy to put everyone in a published hold, I guess. I'm not a controller, but this guy seems to be managing quite nicely. There's traffic everywhere. About to go to clouds, might need a bit of engine anti-ice. Beautiful.
Alpaca 178, right 220. 220, Alpaca 178. Alpaca 1 Tango, step and right heading 220, descend 5,000 feet, QNH 1023.
Right heading 220 and descend 5,000 feet, QNH 102.
So yeah, I mean I'm going to be leveling off soon.
414 right 310.
It's temperature 13 degrees, so we don't need engine OTIs.
Scanner 628 right
Just going to shallow it off now, 300 feet per minute.
Right 070, 628.
So where are we in relation to this traffic? So we're below all this traffic here. Oh no, someone look here.
Thank you very much. Continuing down to 60, 628.
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, confirm descending 4,000 feet.
AFM 4,000 feet and are heading 040 degrees, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo.
My 245, fly heading 070.
Because again, you know why? It's because I've shallowed off that rate of descent a lot because I'm trying to do a CDA. Copenhagen, they want you to fly CDA as well.
628 heading 070.
070, thank you.
Swiss 414, descend 4,000.
4,000.
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, call final 120.2, call sun only.
1202, call sun only, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, face great EC, wait.
Yeah. Alpaca.
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo.
Cathay 268, descend 3,000 feet, cleared ILS runway 2 to left.
So 3,000 and cleared ILS runway 2 to left, Cathay 268.
Check it again. Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo.
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, cast up final identified to left heading 030.
Left 030 degrees, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. So yeah, call sign only, that's what they want.
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, speed 200 knots.
200 knots, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. So let's go idle. Yeah, the call sign only, that's all they want. They'll see on their radar your speed, your heading, your altitude cleared, especially if you've got mode S. So they're super busy, you only want to hear checking in. So I've bugged 200 knots as my target speed, we're just going to keep it descending now.
121, civil contact tower
40 feet per minute, that's fine. There's 200 knots. I've just realised something, we never briefed a kind of taxi landing performance, so I'm going to be using full landing flaps, so actually I better turn that back on for a second. So I can set our speeds. So landing flap, I'm going to settle. And then our VRS is going to be 132, so we're going to fly 137. So much traffic here.
Target 2 Tango Charlie, turn right heading 190, set the follow localized runway 2 to left, descend 3,000 feet.
They've held back on the anti-icing Microsoft Flight Simulator. That is another thing they need to fix, is the icing is just too much. Way too much.
118.1, Cathay 268, service cannot.
So yeah, landing performance guys, it's super busy here, sorry I didn't discuss it earlier. We're going to take the first exit on the right for 22 left. So the 22 left is the favoured or preferred runway landing here. I think hold on, I've got a little bit of spare time to show you. So there we are, landing 22 left, we're going to aim for Bravo 5 for the first exit. If not, we've got Bravo 4 straight after. And then taxi on stands. Very peaceful in the CRJ at the moment. 200 knots. We're going to select, when we get our base turn, we're going to select next increment of flaps. Just trying to build a picture of where we are in relation to the traffic. So this traffic's all above us.
Runner 562, roger, contact approach 119 to 8.
You can see it. That's not so realistic. I mean, I think we're in thick cloud and you can see the lights quite easily. Look at all the traffic on final. Look. But you shouldn't be able to see it like that in thick cloud. During the day. If it's VMC, yes, but cloud like this.
Target 901, turn right heading 190.
Now we're going to route again direct to Charlie Hotel 881. We're just going through the glide slope, so you know, I don't want to go much lower than this, especially in the CRJ. It doesn't like ILS's from level flight.
Localize initially.
Sorry, localize for initially.
We also just updated the FMS. Oops, just watch my speed. Between 200 knots.
If I'm cleared, ILS runway 2 to left.
Yeah, go around could be interesting. Yeah, I'm just going to be. I'll try and push that toga button and look through the flight directives, retract the flaps, clean up. We'll be okay.
You're running 3 Delta Fox.
So I'm going to try and intercept the ILS
Cleared ILS
we're leveling off at 4,000 feet now anyway. Cap. There's not much I can do about that.
Alpaca 901, speed 200.
We've been descending at 300 feet per minute, 400 feet per minute for the last 5 minutes.
Alpaca 901, 200.
Looks like we're going to be extended out quite a way here. Yeah, you're right, Petrus. Yeah, those look, you see how thick the cloud is.
Alpaca 9 Romeo, descend 3,000 feet.
Descend 3,000 feet, Alpaca 9 to Charlie Romeo. Pretty confident he meant me. He did just say 9 to Romeo, I think, but 3,000 feet set. Ooh, what's your speed?
320.
Vertical speed. Let's just do 200 feet per minute. So yeah, unfortunately I will be intercepting the ILS from level flight by the looks of it, unless I just do 200 feet per minute. Just hope the CRJ doesn't completely
Alpaca 2901,
mess it up here. How many miles? The weather here is overcast at 1,400 feet, so it's not too bad. What's that for me?
Alpaca 1 Tango Oscar.
901, turn right, heading 250.
So yeah, look, we're
250
oh no, I need to set DME,
ILS
don't we?
22 left. Alpaca 901.
95 DME. 20 miles out now, look. 20.4 miles out.
That's fine, that's fine. Alpaca 9 Romeo, turn right, heading on 30 and speed 200 knots.
Riding 130 degrees, we'll maintain 2 knots. Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo.
Swiss 414 to left, heading 270.
Oops.
Swiss 414, negative 270.
So what I really also like, we're talking about lighting effects in the sim here.
1 Tango Oscar, turn left, heading 020.
This looks perfect. In cloud, at night, for your landing lights, this is exactly how it looks. It's exactly how it looks. Very, very good.
Okay.
So this is a sort of base leg here, extended base leg, at 20 miles. Very important to maintain speed here as well. We'll do our
Alpaca 901, descend to
approach
3,000
checks now,
feet.
because it's going to get super busy. As part of the approach checks, check frequencies, courses, and minimums. Happy to say this.
Alpaca 9 Romeo, turn right, heading 190. Clear ILS, correction, intercept and follow the localizer on the 22 left.
Heading 190 degrees on the heading, clear to intercept the localizer for ILS 22 left, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. So that heading's looking good. Localizer should come alive. Now, correct me, how do I... Oh, no, I can't approach, that's fine, and then I'll intercept the localizer later on. I'm just going to route direct to Charlie Hotel 881 again. Ooh, where are you, where are you, where are you? Just check my speeds. Speed's fine. Where's that direct button? There we are, direct intercept.
Alpaca 1 side.
There we are. So localizer is shortly going to come alive. We're just about approaching 3,000 feet here. So approach check list. CAS check, landing data set, approach briefing complete.
Speed 180 knots.
180 knots, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. I know I haven't armed approach yet, guys. I'm just going to wait until I'm a little bit closer to the localizer.
Maybe in 628.
So it doesn't snap around.
200.
Just about the clean speed there, I think.
200.
Altimeter set, AP bleed set, light passenger side set, arm reversers.
Speed 200, 1 Tango Oscar.
And that is it. Just need to configure gear and flap. So we're just waiting for that HSI to come alive a little bit more. Hold on, I think we're too far out. Have we gone? I think we've gone through the extended centre line. Oh my goodness, I'm looking at the wrong line. That's why. I was looking at the wrong line, guys. Look, that's really confusing. Look, the blue line is the localizer, but I've just flown through it, I think. It's showing the white line. Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness me. Oh, thanks. Welcome to the party, localizer. Look at that. Just look at that. Did you see that? You can let me off that one, surely. Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, we just intercepted on the localizer from the other side, didn't quite pick it up until late.
Yeah, no worries.
Let me off there, you did see that.
118.1 and check the check you're not established on 22 right, please.
Uh-oh. That's not me, I hope.
Okay, over to 118.1
Stupid thing. So yeah, it went straight through the localizer, but the guidance and the indications were showing me fly left, and then all of a sudden I was thinking, hold on, look at the nav one. It was showing me to fly right, and then all of a sudden it just shot, the localizer line shot all the way in the other direction.
200 until 8 miles final in 118.
Select natural flops here. I'm going to go for flap 1. We're at 3,000 feet. I can't maintain a CDA.
118.1.
Oh, 118.1.
Canadian 628 left heading to...
See, look, the autopilot just... I've just gone flat sided thrust. It's just struggling to maintain altitude there.
Target 1 Tango Oscar, turn right heading 190.
Yeah, 15 miles now. Still plenty of time to intercept it. I'm going to arm approach now, so it won't happen again. But it's a good job I didn't arm approach. It wouldn't have made any difference. I would have gone straight through it. Yeah, the autopilot's just struggling to maintain 3,000 here. I'm going to go natural flopster 8. Just maintain 180 knots. Oh my goodness me, lock capture. Now where is the course? I thought the courses were automatic. How on the test sector, ladies and gentlemen, the courses were fine. It did it all for me.
178, cast up tower, identified, turn left heading 030.
030, upper quarter.
Ryanair 562.
217 for the course.
Identified,
there we are. That looks a bit better. Change the nav source. I did that, Robert. Sorry, on the test sectors, I didn't ever touch the nav source. It did it all automatically for me. I don't know. Anyway, we're on the localizer now. 180 knots, and glide slope's coming as well. Now this could get interesting. Completely IMC.
Target 9 Romeo, speed 180 knots until 6 miles final. Contact cast up tower 118.1.
180 till 6 and tower 118.1 Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. Perfect. Well, I guess we're cleared ILS.
477.
We never got cleared on the ILS, but it's fine. Right, you can see, look, the glide slope's alive here. So we're going to maintain 180 till 6. I'm trying to get... I hope there's enough space here. So we're going to maintain that speed for
737, crossing runway 2 to left behind Cathay.
It's only a 30 knot crosswind. It looks like the drift here is way too excessive.
No worries, thank you.
Right, runway heading 217. Just going to wait until... Watch my speed here. Oh, I'm just refreshing my chat feed. It seems really delayed. Right, glide slope capture. Oh, it's doing it again. I'm going to have to fly manually. I think I'm going to have to fly manually. Look at it dive. Look, 2,500 feet per minute. Forget it. Forget it. My controls. Why are we doing 2,500 feet per minute 1 dot low? Look at the flight directors. It is so broken. Look at the speed. Alright, going old school. Just levelling off here. Just to get back on the glide slope. And there's 8 miles. Tower, hello, it's Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. Establish ILS 22 left, approaching 8 miles.
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, Captain Tower, good evening, wind 250 degrees, 1 2 knots, continue approach number 2.
Continue approach number 2, Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. So there's 8 miles, I'm flying raw data now. So I'm using the glide slope and the localizer. The glide slope's coming up. Let's get that speed back to 180. Right, back on the glide slope. That heading's quite good now. Got quite a strong crosswind here. A little bit left of localizer. So I want to be doing around 700 feet per minute now. I'm going to start configuring. Gear down. Landing flat.
You Golf 1 and Golf and Golf 1 to 4 Cathay 268. Thanks for service, good night.
And we're going to bug.
With 414, 1 way to left.
132 knots. No, that's the wrong way heading. Set. Oh, this is so hard. I'm hand flying a raw data ILS in an aircraft I have no clue how to fly.
Alpaca 901.
Right, let's get back on that localizer. Small changes. Oh, I miss having a track up display, like on the 7.3. I'm going to start bringing that speed back at 5 miles.
Bravo, Alpaca 901.
Can I see anything yet? No, still IMC.
Alpaca 901, contact Tower 118.
Alright, just need to select the natural flops. Oh, big balloon from that.
Alpaca 901, Tower 118575.
Okay, on glide slope, slightly right of centre line. Selecting the landing flap now. Big balloon and dragging. Oh, that is a bit. Whoa. Right, glide slope, let's set around at 600 feet per minute. On speed, so we're on our fine approach speed. I hope the gear's down. I hope the landing flap's selected. Radio altimeter's now alive. We should be visual now. Localizer and on glide slope. Yes, well, let's look outside the... Oh yeah, I forgot. I mean, you've got to give me some credit. Look at that. I've flown a raw data in a CRJ and I'm bang on the localizer and glide slope. I'm pretty happy with that. Ooh, look at this though. This is fancy. Checked. Right, so correcting on the localizer now. Glide slope's okay. Ooh, very low. Now, I'm not happy with the glide slope indication. Look, I'm barely above Right, 22 left, clear to land, Alpaca 9, Charlie Romeo. Just correcting on the speed there. Now, it shows me 4 reds, but it shows me on the glide slope. So what am I meant to be following? The pappies or the glide slope? Well, I'm slightly low, but not 4 reds low. Like, I'm levelled off now. 3 reds, 1 white. That's really sensitive. I wouldn't expect it to be that different there. So yeah, we'll follow the pappies and not the glide slope. 2 reds, 2 whites. Let's set a new target rate of descent then. Around 600-700 feet per minute, slightly off centre line. Speed's a bit high here, I'm at 145, I want to be flying 137, so just watch that rate of descent. Right, back on our target speed then, back on profile.
Switch 414, contact custom tower 118.575.
Right, 2 whites, 2 reds, looking okay. Apart from the glide slope trying to kill me, and the autopilot trying to do a nosedive, pretty happy. Look at the departures on 22 right as well. Clear to land, checks complete. I hope the gear's down. No, I saw it. Fully stable by 500 feet, absolutely. Now the glide slope's making sense. Very sensitive. There's the MDA. Look at the MDA flashing on the PFD. That's so cool. Tad low here, so just arresting that rate of descent. Now we'll keep it descending.
50, 40,
Ooh.
30,
check,
20,
close.
10.
Look at it go. It does not want to land. Hold the altitude. Oh, what a butter. Alright, speed breaks up. And F2, isn't it, for reversers? Not the other one. Just get back on the sense line. Right, reversers. We'll take the first high speed here to help ATC. Manual braking. Brake, brake, brake. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Copenhagen. We're down. Well, that was the a very eventful approach. Whoa. And we've made it. That's the speed brake stowed. Reversers are away.
Cover Tower, good evening, 1 Tango.
Well, that was eventful. That was pretty useful.
Target 1 Tango, Oscar Custom Tower, good evening, winds 250 degrees, 13 knots, continue approach number 2.
Continue approach number 2.
Not comfortable. Compared to 73. Alpaca 9, Charlie Romeo, vacated Bravo 5.
Good to go, making hold short runway 12, contact Custom Tower 118575.
118575 and hold short of runway 12, Alpaca 9, Charlie Romeo, face ATC, bye.
Thank you for flying into Copenhagen.
Perfect. So we're going to hold short runway 12 here. Look at the traffic on final on Vatsim. 1, 2, 3. Amazing. Right, parking brake is coming up now.
Just land to left, Scanner 628.
And there was a new frequency. So it's a second tower frequency, which is exactly how it works in Copenhagen, to cross the next runway. He did tell me the frequency, but it went in one ear, out the other. Let me just confirm. Alpaca 9, Charlie Romeo. My apologies. Can you just confirm that frequency?
Frequency 118575.
118575. Cheerio. Perfect. Right, let's get that tuned, get our taxi instructions, and then we'll do the cleanup. At tower, hello, Alpaca 9, Charlie Romeo, holding short of runway 12 on Bravo.
Alpaca 9, Charlie Romeo, Castle Tower, good evening, warm welcome to Copenhagen. Continue via Bravo, cross runway 30 and hold short of taxiway Zulu.
Bravo, cross runway 1230 and hold short of taxiway Zulu, Alpaca 9, Charlie Romeo. So, let's...
Charlie Romeo, correct. On the other side, contact apron frequency 121.9, bye-bye.
Once runway's crossed, we'll contact apron control 121.9, Alpaca 9, Charlie Romeo, bye. So 1219er. Obviously, we'd be still taxiing. The first officer would have done the cleanup by now. He'd be talking to ATC, making sure we're happy. But we'll cross the runway. We've been cleared to do that. So runway 1230 is ahead, not in use. You can see all the arrivals on the other runway there. We've got to hold short of the Zulu taxiway. So I'll just bring up the chart so I can show you. There we are. So we're just here, look, crossing onto Bravo. We've got to hold short of the Zulu taxiway just there, and then we'll get our stand on taxi information. Oh, can't go too far because there's an Airbus looming. Get out of the way. Now, technically I'm blocking the runway, but it's not in use, so we'll be okay. He's probably waiting to get into apron control. Let's just go here. Strobes should have the logo light on as it's night time. Flaps are up, speed brakes up as well. Reversers are all stowed. It's one of the most enjoyable flights I've had in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Definitely the busiest Vatsim event I've done. I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it, and it's looking promising for the simulator.
Base north, you sure you didn't mean south?
Lufthansa 971, I said north, and I mean north.
Roger, I just want to double check. That was on me, not on you.
No worry at all. It's a little unusual, but that's how the way it's done in Copenhagen.
Amazing. Apron control, good evening. Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo. Just cross runway 12 on Bravo, holding short of the Zulu taxiway.
Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, Castro. Apron, good evening. Taxi via Romeo for stand Charlie 29er.
Romeo for stand Charlie 29er. Alpaca 9 Charlie Romeo, thank you. Perfect, so it's nice and simple for us. We're already on Bravo, we're going to go straight ahead here, and then Charlie 29 is just there. Sweet!
Getting 141.6, thank you. Have a good evening.
That was a thoroughly enjoyable sector, and I hope you enjoyed it as well, guys.
Lima, that goes for you as well. Tower 118.57.
Tower 118.57, 49 Lima, please.
There's my taxi and music.
Superb. Good evening, Eurowing 7 Mike Tango Alpha 12.
So slight left hit. Actually, for the default airport, it's actually quite nice. All the runways and taxi lines seem to mark up. Get the AP started as soon as we get our established here on the Romeo taxiway.
Pushback and start up approved taxiway Yankee to the east.
And let's look here on the overhead panel to get the AP started.
Catstrap apron, hello Scandinavian 2695, stand Alpha 6, request
it takes a while for the AP to start, but oh no, it's already on its way, look, you already see the EGT increasing. So just trying to judge where the stand is now, because yes, it has all accurate taxiway markings, but I don't think we have the stand numbers. So looking on the corner here, I think the next left here is Charlie 29, it's very hard to tell. I mean, here's the turn. And it's right on the corner, the stand, looking at the chart here, so I think this is the stand there. Guys, I'll catch up with all the messages on chat there, obviously very busy on that approach. I mean, am I doing the return flight? No, not this evening, sir. I'm doing I do one sector on Wednesday as well, but I'll do the 2-sector flight soon, I promise. Oh, I think I've turned a little bit early on stands. Yes, they have double yellow lines for taxiing stands here. That's not entirely great.
Good evening, taxi via Yankee, stand Bravo 19er.
Cool.
Via Yankee to Bravo 19er.
Listen, Mrs. Explain. Microsoft Flight Simulator standard airports are dark as heck. I mean, they're pretty dark in real life. I think this is more realistic, having it dark like this. Right, that was a bit abrupt, but probably breaks sense.
We are ready for pushback. We can push to release point Yankee 1.
Right, let's just turn that guy down. Cool. So APU is available, 100% EGT. So all I'm going to do is shut the engines down, see what happens. No, I don't like that. Oh, turn all the lights off at the front. Yeah, loads of ECAM messages, oil pressure, spoilers. It hasn't started powering off, so that's a good sign. We should have these all off as well. Taxi on stand. There we are. And then we'll leave the light on. Beacon light can come off. There we are. That's all shut down, all correct now. All the lights turned off. That's superb. What a cracking sector that was. Very good. Maxwell Golding minus the autopilot issue obvious. Yes, that was a slight issue. Mr. Mrs. Aprons are never this dark. They are if there's no lighting. I mean, have they got lighting up here? No. I mean, if you've got the large poles with the kind of LED halogen lights, of course it's lit up, but it can be that dark when there's no lighting. That's why we have to have a torch for the walk around. Felix, weather radar is on. Everyone is fried. Thankfully, the weather radar is not modelled, so I'll leave it where it is. Andy M71 said 2 blues, 1 red. Oops, wrong aircraft. Absolutely brilliant. Maxwell Godding, great stream, Captain. Thank you very much, buddy. Roy Shields, it's funny, but I might enjoy watching the taxiing more than the flying sometimes. Yes, especially when I get lost. Minimal usage of the map emoji this evening. I didn't get myself too lost this evening, and I didn't make any mistakes naming places. Jordan Penning, do you ever get to listen to music in real life as a pilot? No. Domino Mosina, flight deck sim blocks taxiway. Sorry, someone else blocks taxiway. Get out of the way. Yes, minor issue at the start there with the aircraft pushing back under its own orders. Wasn't expecting that. That was interesting. Javier says, great landing. Yes, it was quite a good little butter, and it did. There was definitely, you could feel some sort of ground effect, but it wasn't as bad as it was when I was testing it earlier, so that's pretty good. Too low gear, yes, it got very busy there, so yeah, you saw what happened, guys. Glide slope capture, and it just went down at 2,500 feet per minute, and you could even see the flight director's command was down at -7-8 degrees nose down attitude. So I just canned it, I was just like, well, I'm not gonna follow these flight directors. All the automation is disconnected. Follow the flight directors. Thankfully, the glide slope and localizer indications were working correctly. Although I found the glide slope put us a little bit low, so we were at 4 reds at around 1,000 feet, 1,500 feet. That's fine, as long as by 500 feet in VMC, we're within 3 reds, 3 whites, real grand. Otherwise, yeah, it felt nice with the controls. It did feel good, but yeah, super busy. The HUD definitely helped on that one. I was impressed with it. I've never flown with a HUD as well. Cool. Alex, why does the aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator have the sensitivity of a feather in a hurricane? Yeah, it can be a bit jerky. Yeah, it does need some fine tuning in places. But overall, pretty impressed. Pretty impressed. You want to pilot's drug for sure? Absolutely. It was very busy. Ali, Katie, still no replay, right? I know there's a replay add-on. I haven't got it installed, so I will be just fading the music out here, but we'll be back having some nice fun replays at Zebomon on Wednesday. This has been 10 out of 10. We'd established the zig-zagalizer again. Brilliant. Oscar, great stream. Can't wait for the day we have a Zebo level 737 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We'll have to see what PMDG does at the end of the year, but I don't think Zebo is going to be coming over to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Maxwell, you feel that's 2,500 descent rate in your gut. Well, if you're established at that descent rate, not so much, but it was quite aggressive getting down there. Yeah, it would definitely have been floating for a short while, that's for sure. And John Pudfield, good stream, Captain. Many thanks as always. Thank you very much, and thank you, similarly, Bob. Awesome. Well, I better get all the passengers off. They're already complaining what the delay's for, so we'll probably have to depressurise the plane somehow. Oh no, maybe set the chocks. There we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, the door is open. Please make your way to the exit and please make sure you have all your personal items and carry-on luggage.
Yes, please don't leave anything behind. That would be greatly appreciated. Connect to ground cart. It's available, so we can shut the APU off as well. Or not. Ah, that's why. Ding! I forgot to push the button. Does it automatically change over on the bus there? And look, you can even see the GPU card going as well. And there's the doors down. Cool, well there's that moonrise we saw earlier on the approach. You can see it just coming over the horizon, so that was really, really cool. No air bridge, no, we haven't paid the fares for the air bridge at this airport, so we're going to have to get to climb up there. Cool, well I'll leave you in this nice little view whilst we call it a day. As ever, I hope you enjoyed that stream and learned something. Probably not so much learned today, but enjoyed watching me get this aircraft from A to B. I'm very happy with how it went, if I'm honest. It's a few little quirks I don't understand with the CRJ, but yeah, overall, I managed to comply with speed, altitude, and heading restrictions. Very enjoyable. As ever, everyone that donated, thank you so much for the support. To everyone that's a member, thank you for the continued support as well to the channel, and to all the regular subscribers and viewers, thank you so much for popping in and smashing the thumbs up button and subscribing as well. And I'll see you guys all on Wednesday on Flydeck Sim, maybe on Flydeck Sim Gaming tomorrow. I'll have something lined up with Mariana. I haven't decided yet, but I'll definitely be live on Wednesday. As ever, stay safe, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye for now.